It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Ask you something? I said, can I ask you something? Ain't I'm clean?
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite. For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
This ain't loud enough, I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough, I'm still trying. I just left a light in this. I just left a light in this bitch.
Fuck up, move the fuck back the fuck up, move the fuck.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Joe feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway. But I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously, in no time, switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. It's cool enough just being cool. Like I am. It's cool enough just being cool. Like I am.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
My eye, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply.
Dance with me. TikTok. TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama. And you...
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me want it.
What's all that noise? What's all that noise? What's all that noise? Oh, that's just that.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Get your hands off of me, shit!
The Chinese platform, you already you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
that's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you. That's the difference when you're my baby.
Use a snort cocaine, now I beam for the check, yeah. Use a snort cocaine, now I beam for the check, yeah.
Come my word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard. Come my word, come my word, come my word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard.
I think we OD. I think we OD. I think we OD.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it.
Lean and buck, lean, buck, lean. Lean and buck, lean, buck, lean and buck, lean, buck, lean.
Hump baby.
Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. I guess that's my cue to come in. I usually come in with what beer I'm drinking. Not drinking beer tonight, baby. So we are just drinking in the Day Block glass from downtown Minnesota. We're just drinking some water with Sugarite in it. But you know, we still gonna get funky up in this motherfucker. So we definitely are eating these. I'm not crazy about the flavor because they got strawberry and blueberry, and this is all they had. So I had to suffer and take this. But herb gummies is good enough. So pop them if you got them. Smoke them if you want them, for sure. Well, I think, let's see. Jamar, 3224, what is happening? Oh. And I know you definitely got to have.
Got to have vision.
And who's next? Dr. Sinister, thank you for joining. You definitely got to have.
Got to have vision.
Oh, yeah. It's like, it's funny. And you know, like dance, to me, it's really funny. And to tell you how, I don't know if how you evolve as a child, but I remember being a young child and knowing all the dances. I mean, like 2, 3, and knowing all the dances. Now I've told before that let me get the right. The Velvelettes, I think was their name. They did a song called "Needle in a Haystack." My mother and Betty Kelly used to be in the Velvelettes, along with some of my friends' parents was in the group too. But anyway, I've always been around dancing and doing the twist. Matter of fact, I've talked about this before. Is when we had a, you know, they released, and it might be several years ago now, but in modern time, the last less than 10 years, they re-released a twist little thing. It was like a little square. I don't even think it was cardboard or press board, you know, compression, you know, partial board is what I'm looking for. A little partial board top, and you slid on this pivot. You know, you just slid on it and you could twist on it. They brought that back out. More modern one. It was funny. But I could do the dances. Everybody could twist. And people don't realize, like, everybody did the twist. Like, you know, this was just a common thing that everybody did. And at 2 or 3, I could do the twist. And you know, everybody could twist. And they say the twist was when, you know, people stopped bopping. You know, when people, because it was like people before just bopped and then slow dance. So you always dance together. And I think people miss that part. People bopped or you slow dance. So you always dance with a partner. You know, and so when the twist came, it was a true breakaway from dancing with a partner. So, but yeah, I love that history. And we always get, my girl and I, and you know, we got 29 days until we get married. So, you know, it's like, I got to go get my son tomorrow, get his punk ass a tux. I got to get my other son, go get his tux. But anyway, so dancing has always been a big part, like the jerk. Now that's old as I go back. I like some of the other dances, and the mashed potato is a little older than the jerk. But the jerk was like, you know, it was just kind of funny. It's kind of funny just looking at the history of dances. And like I get in arguing with my girl on what dance James Brown does. Well, James Brown does the mashed potato. And I found, you know, if you want to see where I found a Mandela effect, I don't catch them that often, but I found one. Because if you can look up now, you can look up Tuesday dancing, and she's dancing with Lurch. And she says, this is the new dance, and she calls it the Reno or the ramp. Or something like that. I have definitely watched that video with the same music, and she says, this is called the mashed potato. Matter of fact, the first time I saw that video, that's what she said. She said, look, Lurch, this is called the mashed potato. Now she says something different, so I know that's been changed. And maybe there's still one that she calls it the mashed potato, and I'll even go this far. I think I even watched the original episode of The Addams Family. I'm pretty sure I did. I think I watched that original episode where Tuesday dances. And she clearly said the mashed potato. But anyway, the mashed potato, jerk. And, you know, now, you know, like in that clip, if you watch this, you just find the clip of just James Brown. He kind of mixes the mashed potato together, but he calls it the James Brown. But he kind of does both. Like he calls one dance where he's sliding to James Brown. And what's interesting, now check this out. Now just dancing history. I caught where like Europeans, the way they do it, it's interesting because the mashed potato is an old dance. But the way the Europeans showed it, and James does do it that way because it is a dance where your feet go in and out. Like that's kind of how they did it. That's stiffly they did it. Your feet go in together, your feet go out together. Now you know where that shit come from? And this dude tells it that shit is a dance that they did called the Charleston. You know, because when you're on the Charleston, your feet and your knees. Okay, so when you go in, your feet is supposed to be pointed in. When you go out, your feet are pointed out. Like you look up to Charleston, that's what they do when they putting their hands over their knees and shit. Actually, if you do it right, your feet are supposed to be pointed in, and then when you go out. So you know the way they do it and the way we do it is a little different, of course. So when the way they do, you know, so it's interesting that they said that step. And so in one, and I caught this on where James Brown is showing the dances, and then James Brown, you know, as he says the James Brown, and then he goes, hey, and he says it really low, but if you catch, he goes, this is the mashed potato, and he incorporates kind of both, but he does do the toes in. So my girl and I, we are both right. We're both right, but like we caught a couple other dudes. I caught one. I'll just show the still for this. Let me show you this shit. Who this shit is. And this shit is, you know, these motherfuckers, man. So I ain't gonna show you, but I'll show you a still from it. And show you who this nigga is and show you how, where is it? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna show you a still from some shit I was watching. Yeah, I know I watched all that shit, but right. Where was my man? James Brown. Is this? Where's the other one? Where's that one at? That had to be in here. Don't find it. But it was Billy Preston. It was Billy Preston being backed. Yeah, it didn't save. I must didn't like it. I must didn't hit like on it. Yeah, must didn't hit like. But it was Billy Preston doing a bunch of dances. Let's see, what did I go into earlier? Maybe it'll bring it back up. Oh man, some of this shit, like, you know, motherfuckers don't care about this shit. I just wanted to show this Billy Preston, but I mean, it was such powerful because it was Billy Preston backed by Ray Charles. Let me see if I'll do that search. And he does a bunch of dances. And there's some of them dances like some of them dances from the 60s, man. The way them girls, them European women did them, I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know. It's like, wow, what is you doing? And they had a name for the shit. I was looking at this shit like they had a name for this shit. Let's see. Let's see, Billy Preston and Ray. Should pop up here. All right. Let me see. These motherfuckers be funny about this bullshit. So I just want to show you this. I mean, look at this. This is Ray Charles's orchestra with Billy Preston. And this nigga's dancing his ass off in this shit. So look up this video. If you really like into history of dance, you can look up this video. This video is called Billy Preston and Ray Charles, Double Soul, 00 Soul. That's the name of the song, 00 Soul. So you can look that up. Some of these people be funny about these fucked up videos nobody care about. I watched another video on that channel of the Lockers on the Soul Train 75. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I tell you though, like to really dig all that is like go back even a little further and watch Wastack. Wastack gave like watch Wastack, and in Wastack you see rerun, and you see but you see Pop Lock, and the nation really got to see it. That's who the nation got to see it first, because if I remember right, Wastack was before the first Soul Train. And the other one is if you watch the first Soul Train, the dude who invented or who gets created, Don something is his name for creating pop locking. Look at the very first Soul Train. The very first three of Soul Train, you see Shabba Do and you see Rerun in them, and you see this Don dude. And then like when you see the lockers, maybe the one you're talking about, the lockers from '75, is Tony Basil with Shabba Do and that Don dude who invented, you know, who's credited with inventing the locking. That cat passed a couple years ago. But yeah. So, you know, and like they said, they quit performing because they asked Don, you know, if we're performing, can we go free? And Don's like, all the publicity you get. And it's like, look, dude, we perform, we get paid. But you can look this one up, Billy Preston and Ray Charles, 00 Soul. That shit is pretty funky. That shit is pretty funky. Now, should we talk about what's really going on and what's really important in the world? And, you know, nigga hit today, of course, hit yesterday and today, because my motherfucking Twins won. So, you know, nigga hit on this little light up wild card game. So, you know, nigga hit and the Twins won. And matter of fact, this jersey is a Ariza jersey. And number 2 hit 2 home runs yesterday. The number 2 who wears it now is Young. And I just figured out what the difference between the jerseys last year and this year is. The numbers. They got a number on the belly this year. This one doesn't have a number on the belly, just the back. That's how they wore them last year. This year is technically the same jersey. Yeah, this one don't have no patches, but it just got the number in the back. So the new ones, but Young wears number 2 now. So Young wears number 2. And so they won yesterday in great fashion. One baseball game I wanted to say look really fixed was that game against let me see who won. The Brewers game. The Brewers game, the pitcher pitched perfect. Then he gives up a home run. Then he walks one. One dude gets a hit and he's got 2 on. And all of a sudden, you know, they take him out and everybody else does worse. And they end up getting blowed out. That didn't make sense. That pitcher was hot. And, you know, he gave up some good runs. And so, you know, who did they play today? I have to look that up, who they played today. But yeah, that looked real funky. That looked real funky. That game. Where is it at? Yeah, and I got to do my picks for this week too. I ain't even went over the stuff. Like when we read the leagues last year, we tried to run a little family football pool, and it was hard. You know, it comes around so soon, trying to get everybody to put their picks in and shit. Like here it is Wednesday and tomorrow's Thursday, you know. But I've been fucking with baseball so much that I ain't really paid attention to football too much. Oh, did y'all see that dude get hit? Man, I didn't do it no justice. My video, when they chopped it up, it didn't do any justice. But that motherfucker he got dinged with that baseball bat. He got dinged. Let's see. Oh, the Twins. Look. Oh, look at this. That's all they want to talk about. That's all they want to talk about.
Night as well. Let's bring in Courtney Godfrey live at Target Field right now for us.
And Courtney, what have the fans been saying other than just screaming their heads off tonight?
It was tough to do interviews tonight, Kelsey. There were people screaming.
I want to hear that again.
It was tough to do interviews.
I like that little laugh.
It was tough to do interviews tonight, Kelsey. There were people interviews tonight. It was tough to do interviews tonight, Kelsey. There were people screaming, putting their arms around me, but we got through it. You know, I have been to many Twins games in the last decade, including last night, and I have never heard it this loud. I've never seen it this energized. And the fans, they got to experience something extremely special tonight, as this was the first postseason sweep in franchise history, the first series win since 2002, and the fans here, as you're about to see, they were soaking it up.
Soak it up.
Let's go!
somebody, cousin.
We enjoyed every moment.
Oh, shit. I wouldn't sit up there. Fuck
With
sitting
a
up in...
2-0 shutout and a series sweep.
It was electric the whole night.
Okay, let me show y'all something. These are the cheap seats. Right up here. This shit, when you sit up here, you feel everything. You feel these motherfuckers shake when people walking up and down. Oh, man, don't sit directly where, the center field, under the clock. Hell yeah. This shit is shaky. But check out these people. Look at the view they got of the game. But, don't sit up there.
2-0 shutout and a series sweep.
It was electric the whole night. We're just happy to be a part of it, part of history.
Incredible. It was incredible.
One unit.
We believe, baby.
They believe.
Minnesota sports fans were soaking up the victory.
They're getting down.
Stoked are you guys?
We are pumped.
We've been waiting forever. 19 years.
I was 10 years old.
Oh, they've been waiting, anticipating.
Even brought to tears.
We're going to win the World Series. That's how I feel. I can't even believe it. Look at how amazing these boys are.
As Twins fans have...
Boy, look at that face. That's a face. Ooh, that's cigarette face. Cigarette and too much sun face, but that's definitely a cigarette face. Look at that. Ugh. Yeah, that's a creature.
Amazing these boys are.
As Twins fans have waited 21 years for a series win.
It's over. The curse. It's over. Done. It's final. No more. It's broken.
Why did they have a curse on them?
It is finished.
Damn, you see this proclamation?
The curse is over.
What curse?
And the Vikings, we're going to break the curse. The whole Minnesota, you're going to see it changing.
I think the women did win the championship a couple years ago, so what curse?
I guarantee you, you're going to see it changing. It's over. The curse is over. It's game time.
The team no
What curse?
doubt feeding off the unbelievable energy of this sold-out crowd.
Unbelievably electric, loud, and...
So you notice they showed you about 100 Europeans and one nigga. Okay.
hankies all
Look behind. How many niggas do we see? Look at the crowd. It ain't a whole lot of niggas. You're not seeing a whole lot. But don't sit out here. Do not. If you come here, don't sit. Now, I go to playoffs. Some people settle, but yeah, these high seats, that feels like they're about to collapse.
As they all can say they win.
And the only reason I sat out there, because I prefer to sit like back up in here behind home plate. That's where I really feel like fifth level. It's a bar right there, and you sit. I really love the seats above the cameraman, where you're above him. You got a perfect view of home plate. But out there, no, don't.
Witnessed a win for the history books.
Hey, this is great to be here. All these people going crazy. Hey, this is nuts. You only get to experience this once.
Look behind him. Maybe there it's blurry, maybe right behind him, but look at this is a sea of Europeans.
Yeah, there.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys more of this because I'm you know how baseball, we got to see him pour champagne, baby. Pour champagne. We need to see Twins pour champagne because did your team get to pour champagne? Well, guess what? My team poured champagne tonight. We poured champagne tonight. Who pours them? What's the pitchers with the most champagne being poured? Ooh, get it? Oh, they ready to pop them. He said, get ready to pop them. I don't know why they do this. They used to only do this when they won championships. Then they started doing it all these little, you're in the playoffs. The NFL would never do this. The NFL would never celebrate just being in the playoffs, but these people do. So, and this nigga right here didn't even play. Bronson, Braxton, he's in the top photo, but he's the highest paid, but I don't think he's even played tonight. But let's hear what they got to say.
Here ain't live because we might swear. Get ready to pop it. Everybody ready to go. Moment after moment after moment after moment. Look around this room. Came through.
It's going down like this, motherfucker. 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 It's going down like this, motherfucker.
playing some bullshit. I didn't catch the bullshit. They listening to some bullshit. Okay. Heard some music in the back. Oh, look at them popping. What is your team doing? What is your team? And somebody out there had the nerve to talking about they're gonna be swept by the Houston. I'm gonna make the prediction right now. We gonna do this against Houston. We gonna do this against Houston too, baby. We are going. Ooh, what's the coach got to say? I really don't care. I look better than him. Now look at this. What does two Chainz say? Look at him. Now look at me. Who looks better? Just better. I look better in the gear than he does. Look at him. Don't I represent the Twins better than he does? Look at him again. He doesn't represent them very well. I represent them much better. Looks like they might. Yeah, I'll tell you, they've won it before, and that's the tell that you can't. That's the one thing is you can't write them off because they have won it before. So we'll see. We'll see what the script is. But the Brewers that was really bogus. Was it the Brewers? The Marlins got knocked out too. The Marlins got knocked out. Yeah. So, I had to have a little fun with that. It was actually a bunch of good baseball games, but it was like the scores, like all three games at one point had to score 2-0. Because I noticed that with the Twins game, it was because I started watching the Twins game, we was out, and maybe we was riding around looking for some shit. But we was out, and I started watching it out. We was somewhere, maybe shopping or some shit. Yeah, we was shopping. And I started watching the game there, and it was 2-0. And then I watched the second game. Was that the Marlins game? No, maybe. And that game at one point was 2-0. And then the Phillies game was 2-0 at one point. So it seemed like it was a scenario for that tonight. I noticed. Here's some funny shit. This is a little bit of, yeah, I did. I think I did. Okay. I'm going to talk about this. And I think, this is a little bit of debauchery about a state. Here we go.
Mates across the Twin Cities is under the lens after several or multiple deaths in area jails.
In Ramsey County, a federal lawsuit was recently filed after an inmate there died of a brain hemorrhage. Mary McGuire has the story.
Dylan Bakke should still be here.
This was unexpected, and it was unnecessary, and it was totally avoidable.
That's what attorneys Richard Student and Steve Meshbesher allege in a recently filed federal suit against Ramsey County. In August of last year, Bakke was asleep on his mother's back porch.
All right. Yeah, these dudes. Yeah, this is Smitch and Botsaki. Let me see, what did he call them? Steve Mesher Alliance, Student Steve Mesher Alliance. What's the other guy? The other guy is it more Meshbeki. Yeah, Meshbeki. Steve Meshbeki. That's what it's called. It's Meshbeki and something. Yeah, these they about to give up some bread. When these two motherfuckers sitting there, and I think that's Meshbeki. Yeah, they giving up some bread. You can look at him. He about that bread. Oh, he got that fire agate. Look at that. Look at that ring. Look at the hand gesture too. But look at that ring. That is stiff. I like it. Meshbeki ain't playing. Meshbeki ain't playing. But look at the difference in the style. Look at his cut. His more of a gangster cut and the big tie. You see this? This is a cleaner cut. I guess this is more of an athletic cut. You just see, and this suit appears to be, newer, but it's heavy. You see the lapel is heavier than his. Can you see the difference? How this is trim and how this one's kind of heavy. But this is a new suit. I mean, look at the cufflinks. The cufflinks are stiff. Oh, my wedding suit. I got the pins, like, I'm wearing a bow tie, but there's pins all up and down. Like you ain't got buttons on the shirt. You pin the shirt up and you put the cufflinks in. Yeah. Okay, I think we can go a little past this. I think I got a couple.
In August of last year, Bakke was asleep on his mother's back porch when a neighbor called police. He was taken to the Ramsey County Jail for petty drug possession, and over the next few days, he started complaining of severe pain and began displaying neurological symptoms from a previous head injury. The suit alleges instead of getting him medical help, jail staff moved him so he wouldn't bother other inmates.
4 correctional officers, who are the defendants in this case, went to Dylan's cell, physically picked him up because he couldn't stand, and basically carried him to this segregation cell, put him down, and left.
30 hours later, he was found unresponsive and was taken to the hospital. He died of complications from a brain hemorrhage 2 weeks later. This isn't the first case Student and Meshbesher have litigated regarding the alleged mistreatment of inmates at the Ramsey County Jail.
It's kind of the same thing just happening again. An inmate or a detainee who obviously needs medical care, who if you found them in a different context, say in a store or in their apartment or at a bus stop, you'd certainly call an ambulance and call for help.
Now, this lawsuit comes as jails across the Twin Cities are under increased scrutiny.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
On Wednesday afternoon, demonstrators met outside the Minnesota Department of Corrections to demand answers about the recent increase in jail deaths.
We're on track this year to be the deadliest year for jail deaths in Minnesota history.
They're calling for a task force to look at why there have been 15 deaths in Minnesota jails this year alone. Most recently, 2 inmates died while in custody at the Hennepin County Jail over the course of just 2 weeks in September. The death of another inmate in Ramsey County last month is also under investigation. Mary McGuire, Fox 9.
Well, I'm going to have to play a little, what does Nick Taylor call it? Cherub? Because this is what you have to consider.
What if they didn't go to jail? What if that individual sleeping on the backyard would have found somewhere else to swim, to sleep?
So it's no great place to be, but this is a story that we followed. Yep, this is a story that we followed.
And I just pushed.
And I will kind of bring you up to speed on this next story. This next story is, if you remember, I showed a story of 2 men were breaking into a person's car one Sunday afternoon back in about April. It was still kind of cold, so I think April-ish. I think it was March, April. It was snow still around. And he saw 2 dudes breaking in his car. He kind of walked out to the car and was like, hey, I'm calling 911. This dude just popped him. Like they jumped out the car and they kind of ran at him, and he tried to retreat in his house and got killed in his front yard. So this is, they done had all the court and shit. And this is the outcome of what happens. If you remember that story.
For one last date night. Or to make one more happy memory.
The anguish of a grieving widow, Hillary Brazel, had her soulmate stolen from her in the family's front yard 5 months ago. Today, the gunman who pulled the trigger sentenced to more than 25 years in prison. The deadly shooting devastating an East Metro hockey community where Michael Brazel coached for years.
Michael had gone out to confront a group of teens rummaging through his wife's vehicle when he was shot and killed. Paul Bloom was in the courtroom for all of that emotion and an apology from the young defendant.
My heart has broken in ways that I never knew was possible.
Hillary Brazel's world spiraled into a nightmare Saturday morning, May 6th. In less than a minute time, her rock, compass, and life partner, husband Michael, was gone. Michael Brazel had exited their St. Anthony Park home to confront a teen rummaging through Hillary's Ford Flex in search of something as simple as a cell phone charger. That's when Clee Swede jumped out of the suspect's vehicle and fired 3 rounds. Brazel was killed right in the family's front yard.
Please remember that he was an innocent man and did not deserve to be murdered. Michael had no choice that morning in how his future would play out.
A dozen loved ones provided victim impact statements at Swee's sentencing on Wednesday, memorializing the father, son, brother, and uncle, who was a beloved youth hockey coach, master carpenter, and home builder. They also demanded the young gunman receive the maximum allowed under a plea agreement. Prosecutors struck with Sweet to admit his guilt to murder in adult court. 25 and a half years in prison.
When I get released, I want to help young kids like me not make the same mistakes.
He already, when I get released.
That I did.
Look at this hairdo. They like he really made a lot of effort to look like this. This whole look is, and it just makes you think like, but I mean, this whole thing, like he's accepting his 25 years, and this is almost initiation-ish, the way they killed the guy. And the other point is this guy, he's, I think 17, so he'll get out in his early 40s. Like 25 right now, he will put him at 42. If he gets less than, like he only get 20, 37? So, he'll be out fairly soon. Whoa. There it is. What's happening, PJ Allen? And I know you can always control y'all.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
And I know you always got
to have vision.
And so, yeah, listen to his statement.
That I made in honor of Michael.
Sweet, now nearly 18, apologized. His legal team sought a sentence of 15 years, arguing Sweet was only coming to the defense of his co-defendant, making a split-second decision he will regret for the rest of his life. Ramsey County Judge John Paul Harris didn't buy it, but did offer Sweet some words of encouragement in sentencing him to the full 25 plus.
I recognize that there are a lot of people who said a lot of things about you being evil and things like that. I believe that as you grow and as you mature, you can make better choices.
Clee Sweet now immediately heads off to begin serving his prison sentence. He'll spend about 17 years behind bars, the rest on supervised release. As for the Brazzles...
Wow. So what is that? Wow. So they just said 17 years. Plea bargain was 17 years. Wow. That's all. Wow. No, it's, yeah. Wow, he'll be 34 years old. So you see why these shorties ain't tripping? Bunch of gangs in Minneapolis is already the Vietnamese gangs, the Hmong gangs. So, he's already going to be protected in there. So, sheesh. Because this is state crime, so he's going to do state time. But they made a deal for 17 years. Do you see how they mentioned that in the end? 17 years in the end. That is, let them continue.
They promise Michael's legacy will live on and off the ice, in his artwork.
Okay. Yeah. It is fucked up. Oh, another thing. Did you guys see this? This might be down here. Let me cut that off. Might need to go here. Let me see. Okay, here we go. I thought this was kind of interesting. Yeah, Outcast. Where can I X out of this shit? It says the 2003 effort set the new record as it has now sold a total of 13 million copies in the United States and was certified 13 times platinum by the Recording Industry of America, dethroning Eminem's M Show, which certified 12 and 22. Then it coincides with the 20th anniversary. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Showing off their shiny new album. They're played on Instagram. Over 13 million sold, Diamond and a 3.5, he wrote. What are your jams? Outkast is everlasting. Is reissuing the album again. Let me see. There was a picture of dude. No picture of him. No picture of him. So I thought that was interesting. I found a better article than this one. They showed actually a picture, and it broke down like all the top selling albums. So where's that one? Where's that one? Let's see if this is the one I read earlier. This might be it. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. This is it. And I think, what in the hell? Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. It's been 20 years. Say Big Boy posed at their Grammy where they won 8 in 04. 4 and 4. 44 is what they're giving you there. I think they only got to 33 though. They don't have the 4. It looks like they're only holding the 3, which is the 33. The green, the green is well, yeah, it's a celebration of abundance. So it's interesting. They have a new distinction, the best-selling rap album of all time. Big Boy on his Instagram. I don't know why he cartooned himself here, but he cartooned, and this is 13 over platinum. Says the album bumps Eminem's show. Other albums that have been certified diamond, which is at least 10 million units sold, include Notorious B.I.G., After Death, Eyes on Me, Nelly's Country Grammar, Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation. Seems like this continues. No, it's just gross. I guess it's just gross for the rest of it. Just gross for the rest of it. What did I read earlier? Is there some continuation shit on here? Because I read more earlier. They broke down, let's see. Oh, no, nothing left on. They broke down, when I saw it earlier, they broke down the different artists and shit. So I thought that was interesting. Let's see, this is what I just read, so that's it, not it. Where was the one? Let's see. The one I read had all of them on here, like all the top selling. This is a Love Me Outcast. But rap. So this is the best effort that rap has had in the history of rap. This is the best effort. So I thought that was I thought that was interesting. Yeah. So I don't know what y'all thought about that. This shit says first court appearance for Keefe Davis. Keefe was probably sick, and it's like, look, get me in, y'all can take care of me and shit. You know how they do. Okay. Shit. What he say? Get down with your bad self. You mother, he said, remember in Hollywood Shuffle, he was like, you jive turkey. He said, no, you don't say it like that. You say, motherfucking jive turkey. Remember how he, these Europeans try to tell us how to talk. Remember the motherfuckers like, motherfucker jive turkey. You don't say just jive turkey. It's motherfucker jive turkey. You jive turkey, motherfucker. Niggas had a funny way of talking. Used to be a song called Jive Turkey, give me a square. A jive turkey, well. I know y'all ain't hip to that, Ohio players. But they had a song called Jive Turkey. Let's see, what was this other debauchery? Yeah, this is okay, what I read earlier. Right, this is
Terrence Winborn.
Yeah, this is what I told earlier. This is, I found this. Sorry, I didn't collaborate the two, but yeah, this is it's fucked up around here. If you go to jail, they fucking people up in jail. I forgot about this one. And this is kind of a continuance from the other story.
Custody. The county is now paying him $12.2 million. Fox 9's Corin Hoggart is there live with the jail's history of trouble and
I missed the name of the
Scott County is paying out possibly the largest settlement in state history for neglecting a man's health care in jail. Terrence Winborn is a double amputee after a devastating 39-hour stay in custody. The county is now paying him $12.2 million. Fox 9's Corin Hoggart is there live with the jail's history of trouble and the missed signs in this particular case. Corin?
Yeah, Randy, the State Department of Corrections has previously cited this jail for violating state laws when it comes to checking on the well-being of inmates every 30 minutes. The attorneys for Winborn say that lack of accountability is one of the reasons what happened to him happened, as well as this jail trying to cut costs on medical care. Everyday life is a struggle for Terrence Winborn. Video shared by his attorney shows his damaged skin and how he adjusts his mechanical arm.
It's really frustrating going back and forth.
Doctors amputated both of Winborn's arms after his short stay at the Scott County.
Wow, look how this brother's living. God damn, look at that couch. Like, this is like some given to him shit. Wow, look at the couch. Look how dirty he has to live. This is fucked up. Well, he's going to have big bread now. He ain't going to have to worry about it. He got $12 million.
Doctors amputated both of Winborn's arms after his short stay at the Scott County Jail in August 2020.
You know, it's something what nobody want to go through, you know. And I really can't explain it because it's been so many times I thought I've been passed away.
Winborn vomited when he went to court the morning after he was booked into jail, hours after he'd sobered up. His attorneys say if he'd gotten help at that point, medical experts believe he'd still have both arms. He also wouldn't have had a heart attack or a stroke. Instead, his condition got progressively worse. Correctional officers called nurses about his medical condition a couple times over the next 30 hours, but they didn't send him to a hospital until he was gasping for air with an incredibly high blood pressure and no feeling in one hand. Even then, they didn't call an ambulance. It took about 45 minutes for an officer to get Winborn to a hospital 3 miles away. The $12.2 million settlement Scott County is paying Winborn includes about $2 million in medical bills he's already incurred. It doesn't include any forced changes to how the jail handles inmates who need medical care.
So they didn't take any blame. They signed a non-blame, non-disclosure, but it's a blaming. They didn't take any blame.
So,
well, what do they call that? You know, when you don't take any blame, you did it, but you don't take any blame.
hopefully the amount and hearing from Mr. Winborn will be the force behind change.
County commissioners approved this settlement last night, but their only comment today was through their attorney, who said he hopes this settlement helps Mr. Winborn.
And what's interesting about Scott County is they just rebuilt all their city halls and all this, because this is a this is where my daughter lives, in this county, and my son. And so this county just redid their whole downtown where the county seat is, Scott County, and so in Shakopee, which is also kind of connected to the reservation too. So yeah, it's but again, what does he say?
What if you don't go to jail?
Isn't that a thought too? But I mean, if they don't watch you, they're liable, and that's why that story went with the other story, because it seems like it's epidemic around here, of people not being taken care of, because going to jail shouldn't be going to jail should not be a death sentence, most times.
A second man is down.
Okay, this is recent too. This is a little bit of debauchery. All right. Oh.
A second man is now charged for a violent carjacking that rattled a metro suburb. Hennepin County issued a warrant today for 18-year-old Derek Holmes. Investigators say that he is one of 4 men in this video stealing a Minnetonka family's Porsche in August. They say he's also a suspect in several recent car thefts and burglaries throughout the Twin Cities. Police are still searching for Holmes and 2 others. A 4th man is in custody and due back in court later this month.
So they got the motherfuckers. They got their ass. Yeah. See, what was that song? How'd that song go? People just don't understand how I could just kill a man. And I've been looking at this Bobby Smurder dance. He copies that dance from somebody else. It's another dude, that very same scene. It's a scene similar where the dude does the dance that Bobby Smurder does in his video. And it's an older video because the dude that I first saw that dance that Bobby Smurder does, it was another dude, and he doesn't throw up a hat or nothing. He's standing there, and as soon as he stands there, the beat drops and all of them just start dancing. That's where Bobby Smurder copied that from that dude. He recreated. I guess I ain't gonna say copy, but he recreated. And I know that has nothing to do with it, but I'm looking at his thing. That dance is somebody else's dance. So that's most of the debauchery I think that I caught up with the last day. Nuclear sub I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, 3 police officers were shot in here's some debauchery.
Good evening, I'm Siafa.
This is up there where the Gipper is. A lot of debauchery. I see why the Gipper don't never go nowhere. it's rough up in this motherfucker. It's always somebody getting something fucked with them up in this motherfucker. Philly ain't the place to be. Where's my cousin George Macon?
Lewis, and we are following breaking news here on CBS News Philadelphia. 3 police officers have been shot in the city's Rawhurst section. All 3 have been transported to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital and are currently in stable condition. We'll continue to follow this breaking story on the mid-evening edition of CBS Philadelphia coming up at.
All right, so 3 officers got popped. They ain't really telling much. But that's a little bit debauchery, and let's see if they talk any more about this. Damn, Atlanta. Woman goes dancing in Atlanta, and now she's dead. God damn, Atlanta. What? Former Lakota student teacher. I didn't know about this.
Well, Ashley, Anna Dettori
Is this here? Where is this chick from? Where is this at? Former Lakota student. Is she in San Diego? Is that her? But this is crazy. Okay.
is no longer working with kids, but when she was a student teacher here at Lakota's Liberty Junior School, she became close and befriended an 8th grader. That's when prosecutors say the grooming began. From student teacher to sex offender, 24-year-old Anna Dettori will now have to register as a Tier 2 sex offender for the next 25 years. Dettori had been a student teacher at Lakota's Liberty Junior School when she befriended a 14-year-old student.
This wasn't an older teenager. This was an 8th grade boy.
Prosecutors say the grooming behavior started while she was teaching, and it turned sexual after she left the district. According to a police report, Dettori picked up the teen from his father's house in the middle of the night, drove to a Monroe Park, and had sex with him. Dettori previously pleaded guilty to unlawful sexual conduct with a minor and disseminating matter harmful to minors.
I would just like to apologize to the victim and his family. I'm sincerely sorry for my actions.
Defense attorney J.R. Bernanz said his client is filled with remorse and sorrow and has been in treatment since last year. The victim's mother, who we are not identifying to protect the identity of the teenager, spoke at today's sentencing hearing.
And these kinds of things are happening far too often. My son is going to be affected by this for the rest of his life.
She added she believes Dettori is remorseful and does not believe she's a bad person, but did make bad choices.
I think that she made a series of bad choices. And I don't think that this should ruin her life. But I do think that it should affect her and her.
Wow. Now that is some debauchery. BJ said, my man was all fucked up. He's definitely all fucked up. Yeah, he was definitely all fucked up. And if their fault, they needed to pay this bread. Where is this teacher at? I think this is a different lady. Oh, okay, even though this story's old, I thought she was from around here. Wow, this is just like 10 stories of teachers having sex. One. Oh, this chick. What?
Police documents reveal details.
This is debauchery. I hate to do it to you, honey, but you definitely are going to get the slide.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, did they get this chick? Like, did they go back and get some of them people off of follow the the munchkins and shit? Did they go get the munchkin? This person's got to be about 2'8". Like it, but I don't know. I just was caught off guard when I saw her. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell the story. I'm sorry.
Public defender's reported relationship with a jail inmate. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, the lawyer used her work computer at the inmate's request and set up times so they could communicate from his jail window. Fox 4 Stephen Dial has more.
Dallas County investigators became suspicious with the amount of time public defender Reagan Sierra Moreno was spending with an inmate that was not her client. Detectives say they believe she was involved in a relationship with inmate Todd Whitfield. Investigators say on September 5th, Whitfield called Moreno and told her to look at him waving from his jail cell. Court records say Moreno then attempted to expose herself to him from a parking garage, but, quote, the presence of a Dallas County marshal marked vehicle detoured her plans, end quote. Days later, on September 12th, detectives say Whitfield called Moreno again. They say Whitfield asked Moreno to look up the criminal record for his brother, Zion Whitfield. Moreno used her county laptop to look up court records and allegedly provided information about Zion's charges, affidavits, and alleged assault victim information. Investigators say Whitfield said, quote, we are throwing her a party when I get home, end quote. Moreno told Whitfield to stop saying that comment. Court documents say Whitfield then e-messaged the victim. The woman told him she was going to report his threat to the jail. Part of the message from Whitfield said, quote, I swear before Christ, you haven't met me, but you will, and how you meet me depends all on you. Dallas County Sheriff's investigators believe he got the information based on conversations with Moreno. Moreno, who has been on the job less than a year, is charged with abuse of official capacity.
This hoe was thirstier than a motherfucker. God damn, she was thirsty. Really? You chasing after a motherfucker that's locked up? You got all, you're starting on a new career, and really? Now, I can't say how she looks, you can't really say. I mean, in this one, maybe she's overweight and doesn't have a lot of confidence. I don't know. I can't be the one to say that, but I mean, goddamn, that's the best you could do, honey. Like, you didn't never go to school with nobody that liked you. You had to go, oh, Carrie D, what is happening? Let's see the what. This is the one for Carrie.
Your shit! Get your hands off of me, shit!
Get your hands off of me, shit. That's Carrie's welcome. Do have to find something else. So this is, the debauchery that we see. Like, why would this chick need to get that dude? I mean, what is this dude really super? Like really? Like, he's that mesmerizing? It looks like he's been up in there for a long time. I know this is still state, but I mean, really? This is worth it for her? She was about to show her shit like in the middle of the parking lot to this window so he could look out, and she's got to flash this nigga. Like, wow. I mean, how desperate do you got to do that, that all your sexual impulses, you got to be outside of somebody locked up and can't get out? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there's some thirsty people. I'm glad I'm getting married. I don't have to fuck around like that. Damn. I mean, it doesn't end, y'all. Man accused of using apps to lure victims to violent robberies. This was 12 days ago. Racing driver charged and crashed at... Goddamn, what? What?
We now know that racing...
Oh, my goodness. I did not know about this one. Where is this? Atlanta. Wow, check this bullshit out. This is more debauchery. More debauchery.
Labor Day crash that killed 5
Now, wait a minute. I know when you guys see this outfit, what you're going to say is, my polo outfit is very much like this outfit. I know you're going to say that, and you're very right. If you look at my icon would show me in something very similar to this color pattern.
teens in Gwinnett County, and now police have arrested one of the drivers involved. It happened on the State Route 316 to I-85 southbound ramp. One of the vehicles involved plunged more than 30 feet to a road below. Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is live in Gwinnett County with this brand new information today. Tyler.
Yeah, Christine, good afternoon to you. Investigators say they've been able to determine that the two vehicles involved were racing, going more than 100 miles per hour when they collided. That's why they say they've now charged the surviving driver with the deaths of the 5 teens. 20-year-old Emmanuel Esfahani turned himself into the Gwinnett County Jail Tuesday night, more than 3 weeks after an early morning Labor Day crash left 5 teens in another car dead. Gwinnett County police say Esfahani, who was driving an Infiniti, was racing a Toyota SUV driven by Hung Nguyen.
They were speeding in excess of 100 miles an hour on the exit ramp from State Route 316 leading to Pleasant Hill Road, when they came upon a vehicle that was traveling slower when they were.
Investigators say both drivers went around that vehicle, one to the left, the other to the right. They believe Esfahani went into the emergency lane where a box truck was stopped.
It swerved left across the lanes of travel and into the Toyota Tacoma, unintentionally performing a pit maneuver, causing the Tacoma to lose traction and spin and begin to roll.
Gwinnett County police say the vehicle plunged more than 30 feet onto the road below. 5 of the 6 teens in that SUV, including the driver Nguyen, died. 3 of the victims, Ashley Gayton, Katie Gayton, and Cora Lorenzo, attended DeKalb's Lakeside High School. Earlier this month, they were honored at their high school's football game.
Let's remember the smiles, laughs, and all the love that these beautiful young ladies gave the world and celebrate them.
Detectives say after the crash, Esfahani broke multiple bones after he jumped over a barrier and landed in a creek. He faces a number of charges, including 5 counts of homicide by vehicle and reckless driving.
Speeding is very dangerous. The roads have speed limits because that's what the cars are safely able to be able to maneuver on those roads.
Now, you know, I'm the only one that really talks about the troll under the bridge and how the energy of driving there. The way alchemy and magic works and how you have to move, and whatever you think this reality is how you can move safely through this reality. It's a way, and I'm gonna relate a story to this earlier, and then I'll get back to this story. Earlier, I was driving and riding, and I prefer to ride, really. I drive, I drove last night, an hour and 20 minutes to make sure my daughter got to go at her batons, though, I had to drive about an hour and a half altogether. I had to take her, and because it's closed, come back, then take her all the way home, which, I left my house at 8:10. I ain't get back till about 9:30. And this is all within 15 miles. It's just a lot of back and forth. But anyway, when you travel, and I've said, the road, there's an energy out there. Again, the roads are broke down there's still something that eats all this gasoline vapor up. There's something that likes to travel over it. So all these things go. And so before I forget my story, I better tell it. So I looked at a dude, and I was kind of behind. We was kind of behind some people. And I looked at the guy, and really couldn't tell. All of the badges was taken off his car because it got repainted. But as we traveled, I noticed he was like in the far left lane. And he went past us, and he went past another car, and it was like it made no sense. And then he had to whip it all over from the third lane all the way to the turn lane. Now, if you look at how driving goes, that is so against the natural flow of driving. And the same way as these people were traveling, you have to understand when you're traveling at 100 miles an hour, like really, if you look at, okay, this is a prime example. And I didn't do my homework. Let me admit that, because he just said a pit, which again, I took a traffic investigation 30 years ago. but understand this if you follow me. When you hit knees, think about when you hit knees like 11 seconds. Like there's cars that can hit these in about 11 seconds. It can go a quarter mile in 11 seconds. It's one car. It's that new what they call it, the new Demon. The new Demon can hit a quarter mile in 60 seconds. What the jailbreak demons? The jailbreak demons can hit a quarter mile in 60 seconds. You can't take them to a track because the track said you can't time it on the track because the car don't have a parachute. But understand, but you understand even dealing with a car like that, if you hit it, how fast that car is going to propel you. So why would you want that? But if you're going 100 miles an hour, I mean, there's mathematics that tell you how fast you're passing even these. And I mean, you're gaining ground within seconds. And so, again, when the way they was racing, they split apart, things that you don't anticipate come up to you, and all 5 children. It sounded like it was more than 5 in here. But 5 people. So he was 2 in front and 3 sat in the back of this truck. And that truck went over these embankments. That truck went over right here. See, that truck came from up here and fell down here. See that? Going speed, that truck came from here, I think, and crashed here. Because this is the other car. That's the Infinity right there. So they was up here. And they landed down here. You see? And that's the Infinity up here. And, the Infinity wasn't down there. And that killed them all. They must have landed like this, and that killed them all. Yeah. Children fucking around. Yeah, that's how far they went. Boom. Killed on impact. So, you really can't fuck around with these cars. Like I was saying, with one of them jailbreak cars, like how you really would have to be an excellent driver because you could never really hit it. Like you hit it and that motherfucker traveling a quarter mile a second. I think it's 1.9, it's almost 2 seconds. In most cars, it'd be 15, 16 seconds. That's what I was saying, when I did a story about the officer hitting a girl, from where he was going, and he was going 80 some miles an hour. There's, again, it's all math. How fast you are going and how quick you can close on someone. And the girl, that the cop hit, probably, didn't realize how close, when she saw the car, how fast the car was going, not anticipating. She was thinking the car going 30 miles an hour. Well, the car got on her sooner than we thought. I was watching some old Sopranos. My girl was down there watching that bullshit. And the mother, her friend got out the car and saw the newspaper was in the front of her car. And I was thinking, even before she got out, and again, I watched this shit when it came out, whenever that Soprano shit came out years ago. I was thinking, like, why wouldn't you wait until after she backed up? And sure as shit, the mother hit the brake, put the guy in drive, and knocked the shit out of the old lady. She sent that old lady flying over the hood. Flying over the hood. Wow. So, what is this? What? Man, it is just debauchery everywhere. It's just debauchery everywhere. I wasn't going to go too long tonight. I've been an hour. Okay, good. It's not that too late. It's cold up here. The cold, like we had our last nice day. Yesterday was our last night day probably for the year. We'll see. I'm doing my final plans tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, in the next couple of days, we got to figure out what we're feeding everybody. Because what we did, this shit's costing like a motherfucker. It's really interesting how much this shit's cost. It's some bread to bring all these people together. And so we're getting the final amount of people who are coming, and then we pay to feed that many motherfuckers. Because that's really what it is we are paying. We are paying to feed a bunch of people. So, and it's like, some people, man, they pay just on food. It'd be like $8-9 grand they pay on food. Can you imagine that? Have a wedding that big where, you dropping $8-9 grand on the wedding. That's rough. I couldn't see doing that. What I'm dropping is a lot. There's a lot, but you know, it's gonna be a happy day. So all that is coming. I got to get my 2 sons, make sure they get fitted. So I got to do that in the next couple of days because they said, you know, it's still, you know, we got a month and they technically saying 2 weeks was still, but the next 2 weeks I'm gonna try to get both of them in. So yeah, it's, you know, so still got to get my daughter a dress, so got to get her a dress, and she's got shoes, so she's not gonna get another pair of shoes. I done school started, I done bought her 4 pairs, so she should be set for shoes. And you know, imagine by next summer how 4 pair are gonna look, you know. But that's what we buy them for. I don't bitch about that. But yeah, that's all going on with me, you know. AM1 I think he has a new channel. Oh gosh, what is it called? I probably can find it on my phone. And you know, like the Waking one, the Light one. The Waking one wanted me to do it. She wanted to share a channel with me where we just talked about spiritual stuff all day. But the only conflict it is, you know, the majority I talk about sports. That's, you know, but I do talk about spirituality, and I am an observer of unlawfulness, you know, the thing and things as such as I call debauchery. But AM1 just had a new channel, and he advertised it tonight. Let's see. Here it is. It's called Thoughts and Experiments. So AM1's new channel is called Thoughts and Experiments. So, but you know, my own thing is why I always have to keep the sports and the spirituality together is because, you know, as I say, I hold this sports thing. You know, I feel like I am the representative of the Hero Twins, and I sincerely feel that, and I sincerely live that. And so, to me, the sports and the spirituality is one thing together. It's hard for me to separate the two, and that is why I bang on the corrupt scripted sports that try to portray themselves as real sports, and they're not. You know, the only real sports are left is probably junior high level sports. Summer league, I'd say summer leagues too. The summer leagues and spring leagues are probably the only thing left of real sports. It seems like every other level of sports. I mean, even high school, as I said before, when high school, you know, watching the Master P's son and Bronny James, and even probably going back far as LeBron, you know, when they've had manipulation LeBron's whole career. And so, you know, it's hard to even trust high school sports. But at their base level, if they ain't got a lot of attention, you can probably, and again, you know, even those levels can be fixed because of the referees. Now, I know everybody can identify with bad high school officials. I did high school sports for 25 years, and, you know, I ran into some bad dudes. And I'm even tell you, you know, like I even overdid one of my own rules because I saw the people kick the field goal, and the field goal was good. And it was like it was only one brother that was in my crew, and I just felt bad because it might have been his first football game. But I went to him, and he's like, "Look, man, this shit missed. I was standing right under it, and the shit went outside. I was standing behind the motherfucker, and I saw the motherfucker go in. But you know what? I was like, okay. And he never made a bad call for me. I was like, that's what he felt. I said, he's like, man, I'm right under the motherfucker. The motherfucker was outside. I was like, to me, it looked like it went right in the middle. So I didn't know what he was talking about. He was, you know, like he was right in the middle. So I don't think he was on one side. Maybe he was on one side, but the shit went right in the middle. So I was like, well, okay. But I rolled with it because he was my guy. So, you know, that can even be, you know, controlled. That, you know, referees can be a major control of major sports. Oh my goodness. And I can't help just throw history into you. If you really are into sports history, this is a great read. I haven't read it, you know, and I'll say emotionally, it's when I was a boy and first read this was such an emotional book for me. So that as I put it down after starting it, I really did. Like this dude like suffered, and this is Connie Hawkins. And I mean, I think of stories that should definitely be a movie. This book should definitely be a movie. I've thought of other movies, but shit, this shit should really. Okay, thank you. Damn. And just a simple search here.
go. This is this cat. And yeah, this is good. I can give you guys a little basketball history. This cat right here was one of 10 children. They were so poor living in Bedford-Stuyvesant that he developed they almost called it sleeping sickness because he was so hungry. I mean, you know, you like if you recently watched that George Foreman movie where he had to go to school and he didn't have no lunch. Well, Connie Hawkins wouldn't have breakfast or dinner some days. And so the way he coped with it was by sleeping. And really the rest of his life he became a hard sleeper, but it came from them being hungry. Arguably, all right, so this cat couldn't read or write. You understand? He couldn't read or write. Again, if you look at people of his era, Muhammad Ali couldn't read or write. Joe Frazier couldn't read or write. And they learned things later, but I mean, for the most part, they couldn't read or write. And, you know, Connie got caught into, again, you know, you look at Jabbar, his father was a police officer. I think his mother taught school. Connie's mother, his father left. It was her and 8, 9 kids, children. But what Connie turned into from growing up in that atmosphere with Jumpin' Jackie Jackson, you know, this tells the story, and I've messed up the story telling the story about Earl Millinggoat. It wasn't Millinggoat, it was Jumpin' Jackie Jackson that ended up playing with the Globetrotters. And what Connie did is Connie said, look, I'm going to turn Wilt this way, and Wilt's going to shoot his famous hook shot. And when he does, pin his shit. And sure enough, Connie turned Wilt, and Wilt went to the jump shot, and Jackie Jackson caught his shit on the glass. He said, Wilt dunked the next 10. So Connie becomes arguably one of the greatest high school players there ever was. Arguably, he leads boys high to a championship. Trying to see if there's any younger pictures of him. And he ends up getting talked into going into Iowa. And as I told the story before about him in Iowa, he went to Iowa. He couldn't read and write. They tried to help him, and he did some elementary reading and writing before college, but he had no skills to read and write. And the way they justified putting him in school was they gave him a fake job. And through this fake job, he's able to pay his meals, room, and board. But in the classroom, like he couldn't do it. I mean, no matter how, and you know, the recruiting process was really crooked. Like if any of you watched the HBO special about that brother from California, you know, where people was really giving him dough and stuff. And see, this is what I don't understand. If you don't understand sports, it used to be worse. Like the NILs that they give now, they was getting again back in the 30s and 20s, 30s and 40s, but especially for Connie Hawkins. And Wilt Chamberlain went through the same thing as Kareem did. I mean, there was big money given to these people back then. And so the people that gave Connie the most money and the best deal was Iowa, even though he didn't really have the academic skills to be there. But they would have justified him playing because he was, you know, he played well. So he plays well. Well, and as I said, you know, I talked about this the other night. Roger Brown gets caught. They know this gangster named Jack Molanis. So Jack Molanis is an ex-NBA player who just started learn. You know, he's like, hey, these games is fixed, so I'm going to make some money off the fix. So him and a group of people started fixing the games because they saw that the owners was fixing the games or the referees was fixing the games, so they started getting in a part of it. And this is where all of it comes from. You know, it's a fixed sport, but yet they want to go after other people for fixing a fixed sport. Do you see the hypocrisy? And Connie blew his money and couldn't go back to college because he blew his money. They gave him his money for the next semester before time. He blows the money. All right. Well, Connie's taking, you know, back to New York illegally. Again, extradition still exists. I still haven't found where his mother and parents gave permission. No permission given, so he shouldn't have been extradited in the first place. And he gets, you know, forced into making a fake confession. And he gets basically blackballed from the leagues.
And because he's blackballed, at first, he has to go play with this team called the Pittsburgh Renaissance. This is a real ABA team. These are the Wrens. Again, he's not having the 42. And I bet they had a way. This is the same thing where I was playing. Whoops, I'm sorry. I ain't show him. Here we go. All right, let me go. Well, even this picture. But this picture here, he's only 19 years old in this picture. These are much older guys. This is what he had to do. Abe Saperstein of the Harlem Globetrotter fame he started another league that he hoped would merge to the NBA because they had promised him the California team and then they let the Lakers move to California instead. So he's only 19 in this picture. He's 6'8". Again, he's only 19 and this league only played 1 year. Only 1 year. And again, you look at more Europeans, 1, 2, 3 brothers. Okay, the Pro League. For those of you saw Sweetwater's movie, Sweetwater played with the Chicago team. I don't know if I can find the picture of. This might be it right here. I think this player right here is Sweetwater Clifton, right here. Let me see, wins. Yeah, they're playing Chicago. Sweetwater Clifton played in Chicago. Again, Sweetwater went in the NBA. Sweetwater played with the Globetrotters, and then he was one of the first brothers to actually play. And I guess, yeah, right here. Hawkins scored. Let's see, Sweetwater's name. I saw Sweetwater Clifton, number 34. So this is Sweetwater Clifton. He was still, Connie's only 19. And see, Connie is wearing 42 here. See? He's wearing 42 in the white jerseys. But look at this. I'm telling you, this is Dr. J before Dr. J. He was doing it in 1961. And keep in mind, for you that are true sports enthusiasts, remember that the three-point shot comes from this league. Also, they widened the lane, and the NBA copied it. And this widened lane is still used by, even the International League has just usually adjusted their lane. But this lane, they widened it, and this league created the three-point shot. So he's only 19 here. And because of Abe Saperstein, he was able to be with the Globetrotters for 4 years. Blackballed, he could play Summer League, but blackballed from Europe. They wouldn't let him play in the Eastern League. He was blackballed from the Eastern League, which was the NBA minor league at the time. So he had to waste away and play 4 years with the Globetrotters. And then then we have the ABA. He played 2 years in the ABA. He played for the Pittsburgh Pipers. This is the jersey I have. Again, the iconic 42. He was given MVP of the All-Star game. He made MVP of the league, and he was MVP of the tournament. They gave him a big coat, too. A coat says all that. And then we have the famous 42. But he's like 25, 26 here. So he plays 2 years here. ABA, I don't know if this is him. Maybe it's him. Yeah, 42 on the pants. It's definitely him. Him here. And he has hurt his knee so bad, he was basically hooping on these dudes with one leg. Look at this. Pipers. Again, the Dr. J extending the ball. And that comes from Sweetwater Clifton. I just found that doing my recent studies. Sweetwater Clifton came up with that. And they end up winning the first ABA championship. And he was talking about these dudes. It's an interesting story. He talks about these guys. Who's Chico Vaughn? Which one is Chico Vaughn? Front row, left to right. Jarvis. Oh, the coach. Okay, that's the coach. Jarvis. They hated that motherfucker. Are we in the back or the front? Okay, so they go back. So that's Connie right here. So they're going. So Chico Vaughn. Which one is Chico Vaughn? Let me see. Left to right. Jim Jarvis. Okay. Tom Washington. This dude right here was a drunk. Like if he wasn't playing basketball, he was drunk. Oh, right here. This is Tex. Tex later coached, but yeah, he got hit with a scandal, and they end up having to get rid of them. But again, this is
Yeah, this is early. What's his name? Globetrotters. Let me say, Tex Harrison. Yeah, Tex Harris was the man. He was a smooth dude. Connie had nothing but good things to say about Tex. But this is the guy that started the Wrens, but, you know, this is Abe Saperstein, you know, Jewish faith. And Meadowlark and Tex Harrison was really good. But again, Connie Hawkins is young here. He's way younger than them. These dudes is in their 30s, late 20s, early 30s. He's still like 20, 21. But he won an ABA championship. He played 2 years. He played 1 year here in Minneapolis. Muskies. Let me turn back to see if I have any Minnesota Muskies pictures. Yeah, right here. Here's a picture when he played for the Minnesota Muskies, right here. And I imagine we can get these. See, it says Minnesota. Minnesota Muskies have a basket bid. Is he? Or are they playing the Muskies? They're playing the Muskies, so he's still with Pittsburgh. That doesn't look like Pittsburgh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Connie's in Pittsburgh. So they're here. They're playing this game here in Minnesota. But Connie's still at Pittsburgh. But Connie ended up playing in Minnesota. Did I show this one? You know, this is him, young, 19, yakking on their ass. Might not have any Minnesota ones. I got one on my phone. But again, this dude is putting in work. Hurt knee, he is putting in work, getting by these dudes. Getting by them. Because the Globetrotters helped his ball handler. The guy, he's holding him off, going to the basket because he's strong. Look at this here. Look how nasty this one is. He dunked it on Bob McAdoo. And this is when he went to Phoenix. So, what his lawyers end up finding out is that the NBA denied when they didn't see the NBA had a rule, even though it's a dude in the 40s. It was a dude in 1949 that came out of high school and played NBA basketball. So there was really no rule. And later they came in and said 4 years. So after 4 years, you know, they said that they didn't ban Connie, but they really did. They blackballed him and they found all this information out, despite Connie not doing anything. And despite finding out that Connie was really abused to admit to the grand jury that he did any wrong, because he really didn't. So he ended up getting about $1.5 million to $2 million for this. But I mean, this is, you know, where you get into Dr. J. This is Dr. J shit. But Connie would have been doing it in the early 60s. And again, he was a rookie. His rookie year, this dude was 28, 29 years old his rookie year. A lot like Dennis Rodman. That's what people don't understand about Rodman. And so he goes to, he's like, what's interesting is Connie, and I think it's this pose right here. Connie was voted the best Phoenix Sun. And you know what? There's not a lot of these jerseys. There one time you could find these, but now they're all autographed jerseys. But one time you could find these and find the ones that, you know, not autographed. But now they're just like Spencer Haywood jersey. You once could find these. But his first year, he tore up the league. Matter of fact, we can look those up. Let's look that up. His first year, he tears the league up. Okay. Was it searching shit? Oh, golly. No. Should have all the stats and everything right here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. They'll probably have his stats in here. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, this is, yeah, I can read some of this. This would be interesting reading. Hawkins was a Bedford-Stuyvesant section, attended Boys High, and played for Coach. Hawkins did not play much until his junior year. Hawkins was All-City first team as a junior, and his boys went undefeated and won the New York Public League, title in 59. During his senior year, he averaged 25 points per game. One game, he scored 60 in high school with no three-point shot. And again, he was undefeated in 1960. He signed a scholarship to play at Iowa. During his freshman year, he's victim of a hysteria surrounding point shaving that had started in New York. Hawkins' name surfaced in an interview conducted as an individual who was involved in a scandal. While some of the conspirators and characters involved were known to knew Hawkins, none, including New York attorney at the center of the scandal, Jack Melanis, had sought to involve Connie. Hawkins borrowed $200 from Moranis for school expenses, which his brother repaid. The scandal became known as the college gambling. Despite the fact that Hawkins hadn't been involved as a freshman, due to NCAA rules, he's ineligible to participate in the varsity level. He was kept from seeking legal counsel while being questioned by New York detectives. He got exposed. Investigation. Which Hawkins remained. He's no involvement, despite never being arrested or indicted. He was expelled from Iowa. He was effectively blackballed from college ranks with no NCAA or NAIA could offer him a scholarship. He let him know he did not approve a contract to play in the league. And at the time, you had to have a contract. And he did not get drafted in 1964. With the major basketball leagues having blackballed him, he had to play. He folded in the 62 season. Hawkins spent 4 years with the Globetrotters. During this time, he was traveling. He filed a $6 million lawsuit against the NBA that he unfairly banned. Hawkins joined the Pittsburgh Pipers in the inaugural 68-68 season, 68-69, 67-68. Leading the league with a 52 and, of course, the 24 regular season record in the NBA championship. He led the ABA in scoring that year and won both ABA regular season and playoff MVP. The Pipers moved to Minnesota, and he got hurt. He hurt his knee. Played only 47 games. He got his knee worked on. Rosie Littman, her husband, David Littman, the brother of the Renz owner, filed an antitrust suit against the league in '66 that they had blacklisted him in light of several major media pieces, most notably Life magazine. And this book is written, the file is written by David Wolf, establishing the dubious nature of evidence connecting Hawkins to gambling. The NBA it was likely to see that they could do it, so they let him get in the league. He was still recovering from surgery, and ABA Hawkins stood his ground with the Suns when he played 81 games and averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds. In the final game of the rookie season, Connie had 40 points, 20 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 5 steals. The Suns finished third in the Western Conference in the ABA playoffs. They had knocked out by the Lakers in Game 7. Hawkins carried the Sun against the team that future Hall of Famers, Wilt Elgin and Jerry West. In Game 7 of the series on March 29th, Hawkins led the Suns to a 114-107 victory while scoring 34 points, grabbing 20 rebounds, and recovering 7 assists. He averaged 25 for the series. He missed 11 games in the 70 seasons, but he averaged 21. I think he made All-Pro, too. His rookie year, he made All-Pro. His third year, he 16 points in the 72 season. He was traded to the Lakers. He averaged 11 points in the 74. Let's see here. It'd be easier to break his stats down. All right, see, games played. So it was when he was 19-year-old playing for the ABL, he averaged 27 points a game, and he played in 78 games. All right? 78 games as a 19-year-old, he averaged 27 against other men, and he averaged 13 rebounds. The second season, he only played, before they disbanded, he only played 16 games, but look, all 16 games, he brought it. He played it with the Pipers. First year, he played in 70 games. He averaged 26 points a game and 13 rebounds. Next year with the Pipers on a hurt leg, he still averaged 30 points a game. The only year he really played a lot, as you see in his NBA career, again, this guy hurt his leg. Like from the year to this year, he had hurt his leg in 66, 67. So all this, the rest of his career was on a hurt leg. And it's interesting. They gave him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For what they did to him, they also gave him 8 years, which put him in line for pension. So his first year in Phoenix, 24 points a game. I think he did make All-Pro. Second year, again, his leg hurt, 20 points a game, 9 rebounds. We see the rebounds going down. He played 76 games. He averaged 21 points a game, 8 rebounds. Still not bad for a small forward. Played 75 games, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Hurt this season, went to the Lakers, probably combined season right here. So he ended up playing 78 games combined. First year in LA, he averaged 12 points a game, 7 rebounds. Second year with the Lakers, didn't play, must have got traded. No, it doesn't look like he got traded. Yeah, he must have been hurt here. Averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds. And then his last year with the Hawks, he had to be 30, 76? What was my mother in 76? He had to be 30, 42. Yeah, he's like 34 to 36 here. His last year, he was still able to average 6 rebounds and 8 points a game. So I feel like talking shit, and I'm gonna make this tonight. And this is the book. I had this card. I'm mad at myself. I didn't keep this card. Looks like you can still buy it. You can still get this card. $94 though. I can probably get it cheaper than that. It's 94. Yeah, some of these are 50. You know, I don't love him that much. I'm thinking about getting the hardback version because it's got pictures. So, sad but true story that definitely needs to be a movie. I mean, it definitely needs to be a movie. Let me take off screen. I think I'm gonna bust this shit open tonight. Okay, I'm gonna do it tonight. I know I ain't gonna spell his name right. I think I don't spell it right. Right here. Let me bust this shit right open for y'all. Okay. Okay. Let me. Oh, where is his stats? You gotta give me his stats. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm gonna show his picture first. All right, I've been talking shit, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna prove to y'all right now and forever who was the greatest shooter in all of basketball. All right, I'm gonna prove it to you right now. I know I've been talking shit, and it's easy to put this together, but I am going to show you who is the all-time best shooter in basketball. All right, we're gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna show you his picture first. This is Louis Dampier. Louis Dampier is 6 foot. I think he's still alive. You know, he played on the Kentucky. Well, let's give him his props to read about him. 6 foot tall guard is the only a handful of men to play all 9 seasons in the ABA, 66 to 76 with the Kentucky Curse. He's also just 2 players to play 9 ABA seasons with the same team, other than Brian Beck. While the NBA, Dampier played 3 seasons. After they merged, Dampier played 3 seasons with the NBA with San Antonio. He's inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2015. He's born in Indianapolis, leading the Cardinals to 2 sectional titles, the finals of the Indiana. Again, an Indiana guy. 61-62. He's also played the annual All-Star game featuring the top high school games. It later became, what do they call it? The Sonny's game. Dapper Dandy. It turned into Dapper Dandy. Teaming up with high school senior players from Indiana, Kentucky. During the season following his senior year, he faced a Kentucky team with Clem Haskins and Wayne Chapman. If you remember, Clem coached up here at the University of Minnesota. See, he coached up here at the University of Minnesota. That's when they got all the scandals. He was a 2-sport athlete at the University of Kentucky, playing baseball as well as basketball. Riley led to the NCAA championship where they lost it. So he was on the same team that lost to Texas Southern with Pat Riley. Him and Pat Riley were both All-Americans. Texas Western, a game for college basketball. During his 3 years at Kentucky as a freshman and eligible, Dampier was a 2-time All-American, 3-time All-Conference section. He was named academic twice upon. He scored 15,000 points, 3rd time in school history, only behind 2 people at that time. The Cincinnati Royals, now the Kings, selected him. So, okay, if the Cincinnati Royals are now the Kings, who was the Nats? The Syracuse Nationals. I thought, okay. Dampier was 4th round NBA, and Kentucky Cardinals drafted him. The Cincinnati Royals took him in the 4th round, and the Kentucky Cardinals Dampier. He signed with Kentucky of the fledgling ABA with Daryl Carter to most explosive backcourt in league history. In each of the ABA's first 3s, and both Dampier and Carter averaged 20 points apiece. Both were field goal specialists. The ABA had used 3 points from its inception, but especially Dampier, who made 500 during a 3-year stretch. A record. 199 during the 69 season and 198. As he got older, he shot less. And 103. At this conclusion of ABA history, Dampier made a career record 793 3-point field goals. All right. Now, do you know what we come to the conclusion about his field goals are? None of them basket manipulated. This is the one dude where I've looked at his whole career, and there looks like there was zero basket manipulation in his career. We haven't even looked at his stats yet, and I already told him how many threes he made. He made, again, where is it at again? He made 794 threes with no basket manipulation help. We can't say that for anybody else. Hal Greer, maybe. Hal Greer. I'm trying to think of another, but not filling it up like this. Again, his whole career, he had the three-point shot. His whole career, he had the three-point shot. And he shot and made in 9 years. And again, you see this stretch. Okay, so these are mades. So he made 500 during the 3-year stretch. I misread that. He made 500 during a 3-year stretch. A record 199, 68, 69, 198, 69, 70, and 103. He made 500. No basket manipulation. Now, I could keep going on, which I am, but this proves he is the best shooter of all time. It ain't even close. It is not even close, because every player that anybody else can name, asterisk by their name, because it was basket manipulation. So don't give me any players in the 2000s. Matter of fact, don't give me any. Well, let's go when the shot was made. You can't give me any players before what? 77, 78. Now, first, when we see the system in use, again, it appears to be Georgetown in 87. The full system in use, I will say that. But they had the ability to make people make them before then. And we know that this dude was never affected by that. Never. And I'm not saying people didn't gamble on his games, because they did. But they did not. Some of these games was in high schools, arenas. So he played his whole career without basket manipulation. His whole career without it, without even a possibility, like not one game. Not one game. Can't say that for the rest of these cats. If you want to put anybody else, this is the best shooter of all time. All right, let's go back to him. Let's see. He finished first all time in the ABA in games played, minutes played, scored 13,000 points. In 9 years, he scored 13,000 points. He still had 4,000 assists. He hit 57 consecutive free throws. Wow. It was a record for everybody. 7 times he was named All-ABA, all but 2. He's unanimous choice for ABA top 30. He played the Colonels from 75 championship team. Yep, the Colonels won it once. After the 76 seasons, ceased operation. Kentucky, 2 other teams were selected for the San Antonio Spurs. He's behind George Gervin. He averaged 6 points. He didn't play a lot, as you see. He was allowed. They let him coach. Now let's get into his stats, so I can fuck y'all up. Right here. 3-point percentage: 26, 36, 36, 36, almost 40, 36, almost 40, almost 40, almost 40. Okay, no manipulation. No manipulation. So, 35% from the 3-point line. No manipulation at all. Averaging 20, 24, 26, 18, 15, 16, 17, 16, 13. Again, he's older here. Minutes played: 41, 42, 40, 38, 38, 40, 40. These are average minutes. Again, you can see they dwindle. Field goal percentage. Here we go. 42%, 42%. Almost 40%, 41%, 44%, 45%. And this is not threes. This is just all field goals. Look at this, 45%. Right here, his best season, he shot 50%. He shot 50% from the field. He shot 40% from the free throws. For 3-pointers, excuse me. And still made 80% of his free throws. Right here. Right here, look at this season. 50% of his field goals. Means he made 1 out of 2. And this is like every 1 out of 2.5. And lifetime, 44% shooter for a lifetime.
with no manipulation. And again, if we look at the playoff figures, right? No fall off. No fall off. Matter of fact, in this playoffs, he shot 50% from threes. They won it in 75, I think. But look at this. The year before they won it, look at that. He shot 50% from the threes in the playoffs. Up here, he shot 51%, 45%. So without manipulation, I've proven that this is the best basketball shooter of all time right here. Consistent 9-year career. Consistent 9-year career, minutes played, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage. None of it manipulated. None of it manipulated. And this is the greatest shooter of all time. Now we get to have a little fun. Now, one thing about studying kinesiology that I loved, yeah, right here. And you know, fair use of this shit. Don't hit me because nobody gives a fuck about this cat. But I want people to see his shit because this is truly the greatest shooter in the history of basketball. And this is critical. You know, this is not just jumping on any bandwagon. This is critical analysis. This is critical analysis of a dude who played all his years and his whole career in no basket manipulation, no possibility of basket manipulation. Look at this dude. Look at that stroke. Look at that stroke. Look at this. Look at that. You see that? The rotation never changes like we see some of these shots. Look at that stroke. None of this right there. Same thing. See, that's a good shooter where your jump shot and your free throws are the same. Where your jump shots and your free throws are the same. Look at this cat. Go to the hole. Again, he making every 1 out of 2. This is older when he was in the NBA. I didn't even know he made the NBA, but look at that. Still money. Still money. Still hustling, but he still had a J. No, older, more mid-range. That's Larry Bird. And no, that's not Larry Bird. It looks like. Is this All-Star game? No, they're playing. But this guy right here is the greatest shooter of all time, y'all. This is the greatest shooter of all time. Probably going to be some of the same shots. That's how they do it. You know, there's only so much old-fashioned film. And, you know, I'm not idolizing nobody, but I'm just saying if you look at the raw evidence, and this is a lot of what we just saw. Oh, we didn't see this one. This ABA All-Star game. But look at that. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about form, this is exactly it. Look at how perfect this jump shot is. I mean, everything is lined up. This is the perfect U. You can see why he's successful. See, everything is doing what it's supposed to do. His legs are straight, his feet. I mean, you know, you've got to do this kind of thing right here over and over again consistently. And every time you see him, you like I mentioned, this looks no different than his free throw. Except he jumps higher. That's the only difference. And that's how a good shooter should be. It should look the same as your free throw. Okay, they give us some extra footage of him. I mean, this dude could play. And see, this is my thing is how, you know, my other argument is the NBA is how they killed Europeans playing in the league. They killed it. They waited till all these ABA players, you know, and then they really systematically started getting rid of them. Okay, now look at this coverage. Do you think they're basket manipulation here? They barely got this old video. This is film. Look at this. He's still filling it up. 1 out of 2 from out there. He's 1 out of 2 from out there. Look, that's Artis Gilmore. Gave him a pick. Runner. Look at that. 3-pointer. Money. No possible basket manipulation. Look at his turnaround. Oops. This is a home game.
No. They're in. This is the Pacers because that big afro. That's Darnell Hillman. But look at this dude, man. In fair use, this dude's putting in work. So you can't, this is the greatest shooter of all time in professional basketball. Because regardless of who you playing, you got to make them J's. And you see this, look at that, beat the double team, money, beat the double team and money. So, you can't say I'm biased. Can anyone come say I'm biased? That I'm biased against, modern players? You can't say that. I just studying it. Modern players have been helped. Again, 87, we know, but they've had the technology before 87. We see it with Michael Jordan in the shrug game. So we know, let's even, we see the first shots. Again, I still have to find the very first manipulated shot. I still have to show that. Nobody else has busted it, so I know y'all don't know. I caught it, and y'all probably watched the same shit, but I just didn't record it. I have to look that shit back up but probably the games is still there, so I should be able to look up the game. But I'll find the very first manipulated shot. It was earlier than I thought. But again, one shot. The first shot was just one shot. Don Nelson's shot was one shot. And then a couple years later, we got Jerry West. One shot. That appears all they were able to affect when they first started doing this. It's one shot at a time. All right. But we see the technology again, when we see Ralph Sampson throw the ball just behind his head and beat the Lakers, that Laker team that would have beat that Celtics team. But to, eliminate them, he just throws it and it goes in. I think that was 83, 81, 80, whatever, when Ralph just throws it up. But again, the Jordan Shug game, and then we look at Georgetown versus Villanova, when Villanova shot 71% as a team. That's just impossible. But that's where they was able to control the whole game. So everyone else, we got to judge them. We got to judge everybody, really. Now, yeah, I guess we could use 87 for the baseline. But I think even before then, they was able to make more than one shot. 87 when we really saw the system. But I bet before then, they were probably able to make, they're probably still able to help certain players that played before 87. So we see the system come in. But even if we want to use it for a ground of, say, everybody else after, I think 85 should be the cutoff. Even maybe 83. Like Ralph Sampson, that's what I'm saying. We can't wonder when the cutoff is because of the Ralph Sampson shot in 83. Now, again, that is only one shot. But if we look at other shots, even then, you can see, they were able to control multiple shots. But they just wasn't until Georgetown where they just made it the most obvious. And, of course, the Jordan Shrug game. So everyone after that has to be looked at as they had help. And their shots weren't pure. And if I show with Steph Curry, even Steph Curry in college was having help. His whole career, he is helped by this system, not Louis Dampier. This cat is just a pure shooter. Look at these shots, mid range. Look at that. No dribble, no nothing. Look at this, mid range. I mean, he didn't try to do too much, but he could just score. You see, he's not trying to do too much, but he can just score. And that's just how dudes was. Dudes could just score. Didn't matter if you was European or a brother. It's just dudes that could just score. That's why, this don't look like trash basketball to me. Arena's trying to talk about these dudes play trash basketball. This basketball, what you're seeing, now look. I'm the only one that makes this point. You see how efficient it is? He gets the ball and scores every time. And that's what I've been saying about old basketball in the 70s. No Gilbert Serena. This wasn't all just cokeheads. These dudes was so efficient that nobody passed because the person who got the ball scored. And I've been saying that forever. That's how efficient the 70s basketball became. Whoever got the ball could score. Now, you could say point shaving and all that shit, but not that this dude ain't putting it on these people. This dude is putting them on them. You understand? Look how efficient he is. Boom. You know, it's only been a couple passes. Look at that. Boom. You see this efficient movement? See, you're not wasting a lot of energy. Where's the cokehead at, Arenas? Where's the cokehead at? This don't look like a cokehead to me. This nigga's efficient. Look at this, efficient. Look how efficient his game is. Running the break. Is he gonna drop that J on him? Yup. Boom. This is 70s basketball. Look how efficient he is. Boom. The 60s and 70s basketball. So I want to hear that shit, Gerbers Arenas. Talking about these is all cokeheads. Fuck they was. Look how efficient he is. Boom. And again, you know, Gilbert's arena career was helped. It was helped by basket manipulation. Look at this. Boom. Look at this. Boom. See? This is what 70s basketball was. Whoever got it scored. Now, I know in Connie Hawkins' books, he talks about some of the cats taking, and they did miss. This cat didn't miss, but this cat didn't miss. This cat didn't miss. Dang, look at that. Damn near 40% free three-point shooter without manipulation. None of this is with manipulation. Look, there's hardly anybody in these arenas. So you really think they put manipulation in here? Does this look like a dude on coke? I mean, just anybody. Does this look like a dude on coke? Any of these players out here, the way they hustling back and forth, does any of these players look like they on coke? He talking shit to somebody. He giving him that work. Somebody's talking shit to him while he's giving him that work. Like, yeah, I'm putting that work on you. Look at that. Look how efficient this cat is. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, he just doesn't, you know, he look, step away. He stepped away. Do you see how he got that, you know, and it's being able to, you know, get separation. He's separated by stepping away. Watch this. He did everything. He did a George Hart. He did that Harding step. Watch the shot in the corner again. I think it's the next one. Watch the next one. Watch him step away from the dude like Harding. See that? See how he just stepped away to give himself separation? Did y'all catch that? Watch it again. Watch the move he does. Harding does the same thing, but he just, look at that. He stepped away from him. Boom, right in your ass. So I want all the heat, whatever the fuck, any of y'all want anything to say on who the greatest shooter in the history of the NBA is. It's what do they say? Game over. It's game over. Fuck Steph. Fuck anybody that had help with basket manipulation. You know, and rightly, they put him in the Hall of Fame, rightly so. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, rightly so. But he's there because he is the greatest shooter of all time. Because if we look at the old timers did not have basket manipulation other than a few games starting in the 60s. We know Don Nelson's shot is in the 60s, so I will give you that little clue. The other shot is in the 60s. Okay, if you can find it, you can find it. But I doubt it. I doubt people will catch it because I really didn't catch it until I heard somebody say something. I was like, well, damn. Okay. And then I kept running over and over again. I just didn't record it. I fucked around and forgot to record it. And so I found the very first shot. And again, but this cat here, you know, it just look, you know, you look at him up. I showed his stats. Y'all want to watch this video again? You ever disagree? Go back, look at his stats, and then you let me know. Because there's you looking at this shit, this blurry film we looking at. You think they was manipulating shots? I mean, this is another thing. Look at this. Look, something I missed in the shot. You see the shot clock is on the floor. Do you see this? Where the shot clock is? How the shot clock is on the floor? So, you know, you setting up your move, you got to look on the ground. Like when I tried to start a pro league, this is all I had to buy. I used to have 2 of these. A little newer, of course, but I had 2 of these. Like from, it was 2000. I bought mine in 2000, but we put them on the floor. But I used to have 2 of these that you put on the shot clock on the floor. So So I think I proved my point on who the greatest shooter is. And this is not, again, this is what he looked like as an old dude. This is kind of probably what he looks like today. He's probably close to 80, but this is Louis Dampier today. And he's 73 years old, so he's got me by 11 years. That's what he looks like today. That's Dan Issel behind him. So you can look him up. But yeah, he doesn't get that credit. They want to talk about these old ball players, but you got to really know basketball history. And have lived it. It's easy for Arenas to say shit when he wasn't living it. Now, how many games he go to as a little boy? I stayed in these gyms, these pro-ams. I grew up like that. So, I've studied basketball. Like I said before, I saw Jim Brown play at 2 years old. Deacon Jones, Jim Brown, Raiders and the Browns in California in the LA Coliseum at 2 years old. That was my first game. I don't even think that was my first game. I think I saw Western Michigan play when I was a year or so. But I'm not sure because I remember, I'm pretty sure we went sometime between 2 and 3. I also went to see Western play because I would always have the vision, and it's like I'd be looking at the stadium, but I'd have the vision of seeing the players, and it's like, well, where does that memory come from? But that's where it came from. So I don't, again, there's nothing. I'm not gaining nothing from this by saying he's the greatest shooter of all time. I'm just saying if you look at a guy who never had basket manipulation and you look up what he achieved. And playing his whole career in the three-point era. No one's better than him. And we have to look at that as, this guy was never helped, and he put up those kind of numbers. And remember, they help mid-range games too. It ain't like they do basket manipulation and they just help three-point shots. They help regular shots too. This dude was a lifetime 50% from the field. So if he's not hitting you with a 40% three, he's hitting you with 1 out of 2 from the field as a 1 and 2 guard. So, hey, Lorenzo, what's happening? Welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. And I know you definitely got
to have vision.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. We hyped up here. We hyped with the Twins up here. I still don't know if I'm giving up them tickets. I don't know. We're thinking about. I said this the other night. We're thinking about going Christmas Eve, to see the Lions and the Vikings Christmas Eve. That's kind of so. I don't know if I'm gonna catch any of these Twins games. Maybe. I mean, we know a bunch of motherfuckers, and you never know. Somebody be like, "Hey, I got these tickets for so much," and then be like, "Girl," I be telling my girl, I be like, "Girl, we might have to go. We might have to take these tickets. We might have to take these motherfucking tickets and go." So, oh, I guess I could show that too. Let's show that. I'm sorry. Let's get this. Okay, I'm gonna show a little bit of Connie Hawkins hooping. Let's go. Let's go. They just give me, but let's go. ABA, boom, Connie Hawkins. Do you see that play? You see this? This is where it don't come from Dr. J. And I did this before. I've showed this before. You see that? It don't come from Dr. J. And this is the real reason he was banned. The league would have turned into this kind of dunking in 1964, not 1970. They did not want the growth of the game to be this. They didn't want this. See? They did not want that. Boom. This is pretty much on a hurt leg. Look at that. So fair use. Who are they playing there? Look at that. That's in the championship game here. That's against Tampa Bay or Buck. This is high school. This is Tip Dunk is from high school at number 12. Look Look how nasty that is. Watch this. Watch him in high school. This is film from Connie Hawkins in high school. He comes from behind and Tim dunks it over everybody. Do you see why they didn't want him in the NBA? See how this was changing basketball? He's doing this as a senior in high school. Look at this. He just dunked over all of them. And then he patted his guy. You see? Did y'all check that out? He jumped over his boy, his teammate. No, he patted the big dude. He jumped over the big dude. And then he patted him on the butt. Hey, good job. Look at this. Boom, ABA. Boom. That's why they say his shot looked like. See, this is in the NBA. Look at this shit. And I've showed this before. And so, there was a lot of great people. And, I'm going to say this, I wouldn't be surprised, he really... Oh, man, I love this stuff. I just don't want to get hit this stuff. Here we go. Again, fair use, but I don't try to make money off unless it's the movies. So if I don't talk about a movie, I don't try to make no money off it. Here he goes. Look, you see, Sweetwater taught him to handle the ball with one hand. Look at this. How he brings it back over, finger roll over Seattle. Dunking over Boston. Who was it? San Diego Rockets. Didn't even need to dunk. Look at this. He does that in Fish Save Pittsburgh. He does that. Look at that fake, just one hand. Such control. That's the one Wilt talk about. Watch how he gets this ball over Wilt Chamberlain. Watch this. This is Wilt underneath. This is him and Wilt. So that's that big guy under there is Wilt. That's a white dude, but Wilt. See Wilt? See how he brought the back way far away from Wilt? Watch it again. Watch how, look where he brought the ball to get to. Look how far he brought the, but you see, just again, controlling one hand, found where separation was, and got the separation over Wilt. Got the bank. See, that's his signatures, right there, scooping. See, being able to control the hook-like motion. See the one hand he got from the Globetrotters. The Sweetwater, look at that, a hook like Jabbar. See, he had the hook game too. See, this is when he was with the Lakers. This round Fish to say Pittsburgh time when he was in the Lakers. This is his first year. Look at that. Just getting by people. Look, he get by Jabbar. Look at that. Just changed it in the air to get by Jabbar. Again, the Globetrotters play. Connie stole it. Went away from him and brought it back. This is when he made the All-Star team. But I think this year, his rookie year, he's All-Pro too. So, this is like even him, I told the story about going to his house. They talk about the house, in Pittsburgh. When they bought it was in a white neighborhood. It's up the street from my aunt's. And, my aunt lived up the street. I don't know if any other melanated people do. I think it was because the park, it was a lot of brothers and stuff. But I met a pretty melanated girl that played ball down there too. And we started playing ball together. And Connie lived down there. And I told that story before, going to, trying to go to his house. I ended up meeting his brother and met his daughters. I believe I met his son too. Now reading about, it's like, okay, yeah, it was a little younger boy. I think they're just slightly younger than me. And so, he was mistreated most of his life. And I still wonder how, him getting in the NBA, how him being a millionaire, how he still handled his money. But they set him up nicely. They set a 600,000 up for him when he retired. It was like he couldn't take. It was guaranteed, in his deal. They gave him 600,000 that he could get at 42. Great deal. So after his NBA days was over, he was covered. He got, and that 600,000. Back then it probably helped him until he died. I know he worked for. I know he ended up working for. The Suns, but as I said, Connie Hawkins was voted the all-time favorite Phoenix player of any sport. They voted Connie Hawkins, not Charles Barkley, not Randy Johnson,
Nobody, the all-time greatest athlete they had a big, huge side of the building, Connie Hawkins. So that's how much they still love him, and people that, voted for him even though he didn't play. Let's see. I might play a little of this. Yeah, I want y'all to, let's listen to this cat. And fair use. I know I'm gonna get hit with this, but let's listen to this cat. Whoops, that okay.
Whether it was I think some of our best games were played at the Rucker tournament. Every ball player, whether it was the guys from California or the guys from New York, and either NBA ball players, they would play all the time in this Rucker tournament. And
yeah, I can't play that music. Can't play that music, but this is how he looked, probably in his 40s here. He's in his 40s here. And they let Wilt talk. Let's see, they take the music away.
Back for this guy.
No, they don't take that corny music away. But this is what he ended up looking like, as he's in his 40s. Looked like he's wearing a Nike suit. But he was a Converse guy. Yeah. But yeah, that's what he looks like. What he looked like as an older guy. Pretty clean cut after he went back to, being clean cut after the Afro era, mutton chop era. But, my love of the game and my love of the magic they brought up in Rucker Park. His way he revolutionary he revolutioned the game. He was a revolutionary player that was banned because of his style of play. He was that good. He was like, you can almost, and I know a lot of people think that this parallel isn't the same, but in a lot of ways it is the same. Like, what people don't understand is Ali was so far ahead of his competition. That's one reason why they banned him. He was so much better than everybody. That's why they banned. Roy Jones almost ran into the same kind of thing. It was like really no one left for him to fight. And so, and I say the reason why he's like Ali is they did not want the game to change in 1964. They really didn't. They didn't want the game to change in 1964. And so they waited till injuries. They waited till he got older. So that style of play, he shined for a couple seasons, but, they let him hang around because, again, they had wronged him. And I think his first contract was 4 years guaranteed. Like, all his money, because he sued him and won, was guaranteed money. So I think he made about 1.5 in his career, maybe 2 million in his career back then. And then, pension money. So, yeah, I haven't been able to put this book down, and I read it again. I haven't read it since 20 years, but I was like, and where's the other book? Let me see. I took it up. Let's see. Here it is. I'm definitely gonna do a review on the 20th of this movie, but I'm gonna read this again. This is devastating, the way they killed these people. And then they say the way they still fucking them now until they recently were able to take all of the majority of Oklahoma was they were saying, well, okay, the way the Indians got it said, well, we you can buy the land on top, but we own the mineral rights. And then they struck oil. So then my fiance was telling me that what they did is, they tried to say, well, we own 3 inches down, so you can't drill. That's how we're stopping you. You may own what's under, but we're going to stop you. But I'm going to read this again. If anybody's interested, I can, do start some reading. If anybody would ever be interested in that, leave me on the bottom if you want to, maybe I can read some of it. I know brother Red Wolf, he does some readings, but definitely go see this. And this is what I'm going to predict. This is what I'm going to predict. They're going to make their people look bad, but they're going to make the Indians look like they deserved it. I already know how they do in Hollywood. They're going to make you think they're going to make them think like they are the ones that created the evil, and they're going to make you think they are the ones to stop the wickedness. The movie don't show that. The movie shows all of them is wicked. The federal government finally had to step in
because that many people were getting killed. So they had to send federal marshals down there. So let's see if they make us wrong. Because in the movie, there ain't no good Europeans. All of them are rotten. Even the investigators, when they sent the people from Washington, they were still all. And they still let them get away with murder for almost 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. You get in the end of this, this was the type of genocide in that area to take, because it was so dirty where a dude could marry a woman, murder her, and or if his sister's children got murdered, he would murder his wife, then marry the sister's children, and he would get the rights to the children and that wife and all the rights of the children. I mean, this is how they were stealing it. And they still today do conservatorships. Like, remember I was telling you this goofy dude that bought the demons and shit, and tried to use a debit card, like a Cash App card to buy the demons. I think the Cash App card, I think the most you can put on is 20 grand. So, you definitely ain't buying a demon with a Cash App card. So, but, if you fuck up your money around these people, they'll still put you under conservatorship. And that's what this is about. And they pass, and that's the thing is they pass laws to benefit themselves. And this is how, you tell they don't have any conscience. Like they think, their laws have been fucked up forever and they have no conscience about it. Like they say now it's like, well, that's what the law was. But you guys set this up. You told people to go on their reservation and stay on reservation. And once they made money, you couldn't leave them alone. Because up to that point, they were government money and shit. Reservations and you subsiding on them. But these people was like, to hell, we don't need you. But they was making so much money that these people had to go in and say, well, they're spending, buying 8 or 9 cars. We can't have them do that. It was none of the United States or any state persons. But again, the Europeans are that greedy. They are that greedy. And of course, they'll start passing local laws, state laws to get that money, to murder. And that's been their history. Starting the time, and it's the British. Let's say who the main murderers was. It's mainly the British. It's funny, they were saying a lot of cowboys was, what they say, Scott Irish, a lot of the cowboys, wanted to face off with motherfuckers. I think Callahan, Billy and the Kid. And so you look at a bitterness of the people and even people that okay, every time wanted to be left alone. You wanted to say us do our own thing, and then we over and over again try to do our own thing, and here they go. If we doing our own thing too good, here they come, wanting to murder people. And that's been their way. I mean, that's been their history, and that's the history they want to change. They damn sure don't want this to live. They've been trying to get rid of this kind of thing. They don't want this to be taught. That's why I'm surprised the movie's coming out. Again, they're gonna make the Indians look like the bad people. Watch. That's what they do. And the white savior, the Jesus comes in, the white savior. They're gonna make it look like, the people that caused the problem. The people that caused the problem. And so, that's my bitter moment, but that's real, and it's not. I'm not pointing out anybody. I had his sons, Mitchell and Ness jersey, very nice. That long ass arms. Miami team making another championship in the Heat and Panthers. Yeah, that's a good point, Lorenzo. I'm sorry I missed that. Yeah, Royal Bell. Thank you for joining.
You got to have vision.
Oh, you had the Suns ones. Yeah, even that one, I had trouble finding that one because I'm going to order another Pipers because the one I got is like a 4X. I just wanted it. So I'm going to put that one in a frame. And you showed me where I could get the Pittsburgh one, the ones that say on the road, Pittsburgh. And then I think you can even get the one that says Minnesota for the Minnesota Pipers. Because I don't think they weren't called the Muskies. I think the year they were in Minnesota, they were called the Pipers too. I think they were the Minnesota Pipers. But I have a sweet picture on my phone of Connie wearing a Minnesota jersey and Duncan. And I guess they played up in Duluth and shit. They played all over Minnesota, but the Duluth has a college up there. And like St. Thomas, where I went to my nephew's tournament game is where he practiced. They practiced at St. Thomas. So when he lived here, I wonder where he lived. But I know, I wonder, how long his family, because I know he ended up retiring in Phoenix. So I know I'm jumping all around, but it's just, the history is you can see why they want to hide history. They don't want a generation to know of the butchery that happened. If you look at, I mean, when the British came over here, I mean, their butchery was unknown, unmatched. And then, you look at it as a prison colony as well, because a lot of these was prisoners. Again, they brought these prisoners over here and just could go kill Indians. Oh, I can go kill a few of these people or go steal some and make them slaves, and you'll let me be free. I mean, I don't want to tell you all those people that came over here in the late 1900s was really slaves. In the early 1900s, to slaves. Again, Gangs of New York is the perfect movie that shows that. So they didn't really care, about all the Europeans. They wanted an underclass again, and then they made the Europeans think that they were the buffer class. That's really what they became, the buffer class. But again, the amount of murder in America is unmatched. And you can say what other countries did, but you can't say that the people that we are, the melanated people of America, the only mass murder you can really say is the one that happened in North or New Elko. I think it's called New Elko, not Prague or Elko, Minnesota, not far from here, where and again they try to hide this shit, but melanated people, the Lakotas was able to wipe out 900 of their people. That's why they hung 36. And they still want that down there because they want to hold that hurt they put on the people. So that's why they ain't closed that fort down there. You can still go to the grounds, and it's fucked up going over there. But the people deserved it. The people deserved it. This is, another victory. It was a greater victory than what you saw at with Custer. That was nothing compared to this. They only killed 200 people. This is the greatest victory by the melanated people. Is Dakota defeating these Scandinavians mostly. And then, as a civil war, they started sending troops because I've got papers on one dude who he signed up to go to the Civil War. He ended up staying here because they was having to fight two fronts. Because Minnesota had at some point had to stop sending people to the war. They had to fight here because the Lakotas, they were smart. Make them fight two fronts. That was very smart. Again, I say if what the numbers say, them having 10 to 15,000 people that beat Custer, they could have fought them all the way to St. Louis. And maybe that's what needed to happen is keep all the Europeans on the east, because that's what they wanted at first. You get into the gold story, that's all a lie. They just tried to, after they beat Mexico, they didn't even want Mexico. Think about it. They only wanted California. They only wanted those lands. They didn't want the southern lands. They took all those western lands. They didn't want the southern western lands, even down the coast. They didn't want none of that. They had it all. 1848, they took Mexico City. As I used to tell, I used to get my friend. I used to had a essay brother that I work with. I was like, see, they didn't even want your hoes. And I used to kill him. He's like, yeah, you're right. They didn't even want your hoes. He's like, gave that shit back to you. Didn't even want your hoes. They just wanted California. That's 1848. When did the gold strike? The 49ers, right? Well, that was a lie too. And then we see how them peoples benefited. Again, a lot of people benefited because they didn't have to get gold. And peoples brought out canvas, shovels, pans. See, again, they ain't had to work hard. They saw the work that needed to be done, and they brought the tools there. And tools didn't guarantee gold, did it? Those tools did not guarantee gold, but look at who benefited. Them peoples, they was right there. And that's been their whole life. Them people's whole life. They let you work hard, but they benefit. But this is the country we live in. And are there solutions? Yeah, there really are. It's like, think about the silly shit they tried to do today. Tell everybody to turn your phones off. Don't be on your TV. You know, it's like the stupidest distraction shit that they can come up with. And this is supposed to come from the so-called conscious community. Well, I'm not conscious. I'm beyond conscious, you know. So I don't need that. I mean, I sleep with this motherfucker here, and I'm thinking, ooh, I'm thinking about getting the one where you just do like that. You know, you just answer the motherfucking phone. That's some cool ass shit. Yeah, what's happening? You ain't even, you just tap your hand and what's happening? That's cool shit. You must admit. You just boom, motherfucker call you. Hey, what's happening? Just tap your finger. Do a commercial. Just the tap. Do the tap. Hello. Do the tap. Hello. Do the tap. Ain't nobody talking to you, Mickey. Stay out my business, Mickey. Stay out my business, Mickey. But as I say, I don't mean to be rude. And, you know, I have a lot of different passions. And you know what? Again, what is the solutions? You know, what, oh, okay. We can switch up. This is, yeah, okay. So I can go through these games. So tomorrow, where's the game tomorrow? Okay, so Sunday, we'll just go through it. Sunday, we got Arizona and the Bengals. Oh, Bengals have not been playing well. Cards let me down though last week, didn't they? Cards lost last week. And they still playing with a backup quarterback. I'm gonna say upset. I'm gonna go with let's do it on this one. I'm gonna go with the upset. So this is week 5. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati. They've been getting me every week though. Tennessee, Indianapolis. Ooh, that's a tough one. Indianapolis has been playing better. I wonder what the point for that is. But again, I'm not going with points. I'll say Titans on the road. Titans on the road. New Orleans, New England. Both of them aren't really playing good. I'll say New England at home. Even though I doubt they win. We got the Jets and the Dolphins. Dolphins at home. I'm going to say Dolphins at home. We got Houston at Atlanta. Both teams suck. Upset? I think not. Upset? Maybe. Let's say upset there. I don't think so. I think Falcons at home. Nah, I feel an upset there. Let's go with Texans. All right. Philadelphia and the Rams. We beat the Rams at home. And let's see. Can we expand? I don't want to get Sunday ticket. I just want all the games. So I'll look here. Week 5. Week 5. There we go. Let's look at the matchups. Wow. What is this now? I want to read this shit out loud. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Meanwhile, Cincinnati is a 3-point road favorite, Arizona. The Bengals have lost 3 in their first 4 games. That's not what was interesting. Check this out. Okay, here we go. I'll share it. Damn. Look what this shit says. It says the model, which, okay. Be sure to see the NFL predictions betting advice from Sportsline's proven computer model. The model, which simulates every NFL game 10,000 times, is well over 7,000 for 100 players on top-rated NFL picks. The model enters Week 5 of the end of the season on an incredible 168 and 118 run on top-rated NFL picks. The model also ranked 10 of the top NFL Pick Watch for the past 8 years, NFL picks and more. So, blah, 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 blah. Just give me the games. Just give me the games. I just want the games. Where are the games at? Okay, I think this is the games. All right, here. Okay. Where did my pen go? All right. So I'm going to go with Bears at Commanders. They're giving them 6-5, no over and under. It's a pretty Thursday, but both teams show. So for tomorrow, I'm going Commanders at home. That's the Thursday game. I'm going Commanders tomorrow. Sunday morning. You know what, though? They got Buffalo with 5. I'm taking the Jaguars because they've been there a week already. And that international travel ain't easy. I think I already got this one. I think those was the only 2 games I didn't have. Let's see. I think I got every other game. I think that's it. I'll go. Okay, Carolina and Detroit. I think Detroit wins at home. I think the Lions is going to win the NFC. I'll dare to say that they'll beat Detroit. That might be what the NFC Championship is, Detroit and the Lions. And they beat the Lions and Dallas, and they beat Dallas. They're giving them 9. They're giving Detroit 9 at home, which I would take that. What is the over and under? Doesn't say. It's not giving over and unders. It says pick 30-14, so right there, that would be 34, right? No, 44. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Okay. New York and Miami, I got that. New England, Pittsburgh. Ravens and Steelers. I've been getting killed by the Steelers. The Steelers are giving up 3. So Ravens, I'm going to say Ravens. I don't like Pittsburgh. I never did. Okay, I think that's it. Jets and Denver. Damn, Denver is 2 points. I can't stand Denver, and I hope they lose again. I sure do. I hope Denver loses again. I'm gonna pick the Jets. I hope Denver loses again. I can't stand Denver. Kansas City, they're only giving them 5. Ooh, they are giving them 5. Now down here, I'm sorry, I ain't sharing screen. Okay, they're giving them 5. They're giving the Vikings 5 at home. Wow, and the trouble, they're giving them 9. Down here, the pick is 9. Wow, I might take this. I might take 5 at home. I think the Chiefs will beat them, but I might take this 5 at home. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs to win, but I'm gonna bet that they don't cover. I'm gonna take that. As a matter of fact, this is a game that gives me pause. This game really gives me pause. Vikings shouldn't win, but I'm gonna pick this in the upset. I'm taking the 5 and picking that in the upset. If they don't get to 5, if they get to 5, I'm still taking it. Dallas and San Francisco. Ooh, they got San Francisco favored. Wow. I think I'm gonna take that one too. I don't think they'll cover. Wow, Dallas. This is a good one. Dallas at the 49ers. I'm gonna pick Cowboys. Upset. Cowboys on the upset. Packers and Raiders. Packers and Raiders. Monday night. Next Monday night, the last game is Packers and Raiders, and the Raiders are giving up 2. I say Raiders win at home. Packers suck. All right. So those are my picks for the week. I'm going with Cincinnati, Titans, New England, Dolphins, Texas, Eagles, Commanders, Jaguars, Lions, Ravens, Jets. I'm taking the Vikings, but I'm taking the 6 points, 5 points. So if the Chiefs don't win by 5, I still win. I'm taking the points on that one. Cowboys, I should take the Cowboys points too. I'm going to take the Cowboys. They're giving the Cowboys 5. I'm taking that. I'm taking the Cowboys 5. So if they have to beat them, I'll still cover if they don't. The other one, I won't touch that one. I won't take points on anymore. Yeah, but I'll take the Vikings and I'll take those points. Matter of fact, I might have to throw a parlay in here.
So that's my pick for the week. Got that out the way. That's not that easy. What time is it? I ain't really got to do shit. I'm getting 8 or 9 hours of good sleep, deep sleep. That's what I like about the watch. It checks your sleep, and it checks how, I guess when you get into deep sleep is when your body starts to heal. And if you don't stay in it very long, your body doesn't heal very long. So I've been really trying to find a way to get that deep sleep. So still working that. And I hurt my back. I'm seeing how sore I'm getting. Damn. I tried to take apart my umbrella so I can put it back in the box. Fuck, man, did something to my back. I put the tens unit on it. I'm an old nigga. I keeps the tens unit. Matter of fact, I probably need another one. I think I'm gonna ask my doctor to get me another one. I'm gonna get a new one. But and now I'm starting to see my arm feeling a little funky. So yeah, I think my back did something to my back again. So but for being my age, I feel good. And it's like I kind of mix everything together because of my passion about everything. It's like I said, sports are spiritual to me, and so it's easy for me to put it all together. Now, somebody from the outside coming in, it's a little different. Again, I could have a guest and tell their bag and stuff, what they're about, of course. But it's like my base is, really is the sacred ball game or the creation ball game, either way, whatever you want to call it. That's my base of my understanding. I come in through the game. Part of me actually comes in through the game through creation. So it's not all about, as Brother Bomber wants to talk about, the Jack loves sports. No, it's deeper than that. They don't own it. They didn't create it. I mean, they control it now, but they didn't control it when it was first conceived. I mean, when the Omen first invented rubber and how balls was conceived, just children seeing what's left over and throwing the globs at each other. That's how the early games was really started. Then people could notice that they could catch the ball with baskets. I mean, the first balls are what, 2,000-3,000 years, at least 2,000 years old. They've had rubber balls from 2,000 years old. Told the story about Columbus when Columbus saw a ball in Haiti. All right, in Haiti. So if you don't think the Omen went everywhere, how did rubber get in Haiti? And we know rubber was made. La Vista. The rubber lands. That's what Omen means. Omen means rubber lands and Noctil. The rubber lands or rubber people, but the rubber lands. And it's not Omic. Omic is the commercial name, but the real name is, or like what's on that statue behind me right there. You can't really see it, but it's Omeka Kabaza, Big Head Omen. Omeka Kabaza, Big Head Omen. So, and as I've said before, the helmet is the holy people. Whoops. The sacred ball player. And it's so sacred that they even put it on the gods. They look at the god coming back from the storm as playing a ball game. I just come back today. I just came back from the storm. Doo-doom, doo-doom, doo-doo-doom, doo. Just came back today. Storm Rider. I just came back from the storm. Doo-doom, doo-doom. This is the Storm Rider, baby. But he's dressed up like a ball player. These are shin guards. Look at his shoes. See? They dressed the god up as a ball player. They band their heads and the jade, the sacred jade. They band their heads. Again, to get you out of that reptilian brain. You have a higher thought of consciousness if you push your head up. You push your head up, you have a higher state of consciousness. That's why, you see I don't think that the Aztecs did that. I don't think the Aztecs bound their heads. Mayan did, though. We can look at the pictures of Bon Patton. You can tell that. That the heads was bound. Okay. And got a picture of LeBron James' daddy. Tell me this ain't LeBron James' daddy. That's LeBron James' daddy right there. See? Same male pattern baldness. Look at the build. But this guy's like, what, 6'10"? LeBron's 6'9". He's an inch taller. But that's LeBron's daddy right there. That's Nate Thurman. Same build. Same male pattern baldness. This is him extremely young. Where is my stuff? Is it all here? And I talked about this before. I had a vision. Actually, in one of my mirrors, I saw a bearded omen, and then I get a book. Or this is, the highlight the book. It's highlighted because most of the heads you don't see facial hair, but again, you have a bearded one, and these are all the glyphs. Glyphs are different. Nobody can really read these. They're very close to the Mayans, some of them. But again, if you look at the statue, his head's bound. You can see it from the side. Bound heads. Even this stuff here, the babies are always in bound head positions. Well, this one shows it clear. Shit is raining like a motherfucker. Damn. Again, the transformation of the Jaguar. Transformation. That's why this is so important. Transformation. So they're more into Jaguar consciousness. Wooden statue. Very rare in the Omic world. Mostly you see jade. Again, the transformation, the wear baby. See, they call this Omic shaman transforming into a jaguar. Shapeshifter. Ship-shaped. Again, the bound head. Bound head. You can see it pretty clear in the baby. Bound head. Again, bound head. Thick lips. This is more Aztec. Yeah, it's raining like a motherfucker outside. I was wondering where all the noise was coming from. I was like, oh shit. I wanted to bring my plants in. I got to start bringing my plants in. Like it's pouring. Yeah, it's raining hard. It's raining real hard. I wanted to bring my plants in today. Hey, Doe Eyes, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Got to have vision.
And I was thinking about you earlier, and it's like this, and I like the way you are open to everything. I must say. Now I'm pretty closed-minded. I must say, I got other reasons, but I'm closed-minded. But I like that you are open-minded. I really like that about you. How do I say this? How do I say this rightly? No, I'll just go roll with that. I like that you are open to other ideas. I really do. Because you're a lot more open-minded than I am. And, I guess we each have different experiences too, but I like that you're open to the ideas at least. And I think that's, maybe one of my faults. Sometimes I'm not open. Well, I'm open to certain ideas, but I'll just stop with saying that. I'll just stop with saying that. But I like that about you. I really do.
Let's see. Where did he? Did I do it? Let me see. Maybe I didn't. No, I did not. Let's see. I don't know if I took the time to do it. If I taped this stuff, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Thought I did, but maybe I didn't. That's all right. It doesn't matter. I'll get it on another day. Yeah, I don't think I taped it. I thought about it, but I don't think I taped it. That's all right. That's all right. Oh man. I hope my back feels better in the morning. Don't feel too bad now. Oh, want to show this one last minute. A little bit. Again, bound head. Same thing here. They represented all their people with bound heads. So when we find a mummy, so this ain't no ancient alien. This is how they represented themselves. So there's no ancient alien shit in this. This is who they are. And they bound their heads just as the Mayan did. Bound head just as the Mayan did. And it's the same gods. I've all showed the evolution of other gods, how they've changed it. So this is what they look like to each other. And again, my man, and I'm not saying this is 2,000 years old because I doubt it highly, but this is in the likeness of that. Like I can look at some similarities of that picture and wonder, that I know like there's things I look for is like the way it's created here. There's a type of like this, almost a V, the way it's kind of made. All these are made. And, if you look at what's made and then the holes drilled in the ears, I mean, it's a lot of things to look for. But some of the stuff is still out there that you can actually buy. Now, other pieces, this is, you can almost, translucent. This is jade is almost translucent. And jade can be translucent, remember? And so, that's why jade, if you ever want to get in touch with any of this kind of energy, a figure like this definitely would help you get into jade. And jade, I've got a jade wand probably on my ohmic table because I have my ohmic table separate from other things. I have just all my ohmic things. And, I have part of the sacred ball game on my ohmic table as well. But my omen table has, mostly just omen things. There is a little bit of a Pacific Indian kind of totem pole or a totem pole too. But for the most part, it's the old American energies. But if you want to tap into it, even the Mayan, jade is the way. If you ever want to tap into energy, jade is the way. And using something like this, it's kind of gives you a push, I guess is the best way to say it. So, and again, I'm not trying to convert anybody to anything. I'm just telling you what comes out of America and the energies that's there to be tapped into. And that's all. I mean, there's a natural energy that is in the Americas that melanated people seem to be able to tap into. Now, I'm not saying others can't tap into it, but I mean, they've been using this magic, so they know what's out there. But it's like, and this is what really gives. Okay, let me break it down like this. This is what gives the people that talk about what the reality is. This gives them problems because if this is reality is not real, okay. But the part of the reality that if it's not real, also remember, and if you think everything is scripted, well, you can live it like that. Remember how you can get in and out of the matrix. So there's, like I was saying, watching that Wednesday, I know that's been changed because I watched the original show. In the original show, she says mashed potato. So, this is a thing that can change it on the fly as well. But we can benefit from that because we can be both.
We can realize that this thing is creating is some type of illusion, but yet we can play the illusion. It's just like a lucid dream. And that's, you can do this like a lucid dream. You can have control. That's why, alchemy is constantly, you take a shower, you're actually practicing alchemy because you put a little smells in there and stuff. I mean, this is all type of alchemy to use and build yourself up spiritually, energy wise. Because there's something that you can naturally tap into. Now, Jeffrey Lane says something very beautiful. It's like, once, like with Cypher, once you wake up, they can't put you back to sleep. Once you see it, it's hard not to unsee. But just because you see it, you can still move through it and around it. That's what that's what I try to teach. Is like you can be like the lucid living Timothy Freaks. What he says, lucid living. Watch the play evolve in front of you. And once you understand the script, you can follow the script, break the script, ad lib. We are that magical, powerful people. And once you use that side of whatever this is, that's why I was saying the driving. Driving is a perfect example of something you can use. Because what's interesting is like you ever drove and like it really ain't nobody in the other cars? Like you might have hit a certain vibration, you look around, ain't nobody in the other cars. You're the only one that's sitting in the car. I hope that was one of the cats, because that didn't sound very good. She up? She could be. What time is it? She might be up. But it sounded like she farted, pretty big fart. So I don't know. Maybe that was the cats, because the litter is in where the wash and dryer is and shit. So it's to manipulate this system. And to me, that's if you say any God power, those are the God powers. Is to say, okay, I see what this system is. Okay, I'm gonna roll with the way the system is. I can roll with it. It's just like the flat Earth people all day. They believe in round Earth because they're constantly talking about how it's flat Earth, but comparing it to round Earth. So you're constantly thinking about the thing that you say don't exist because you're trying to prove that it don't exist. So you're still thinking about it. So you don't really believe it because you still got an argument. You don't argue once you know. Once you know, you don't argue anymore. You just state it. Or proclaim it. You ain't got to keep arguing. It's like I said before, the Gipper, the best advice I heard him say is, again, you don't have to pray all the time. You've already prayed enough. You've already put your intentions, your manifestations out there enough. Because I used to get in my shower and I had a nice about, my son would get mad at me. I must have prayed for like 11, 12 minutes in my shower. And I was doing this over and over again. And then, before I get in my car, making my manifestations in the trip. And it's like, wait, at a certain point, you've done enough of that. At a certain point, you've done enough. You've done enough of the spiritual work to last you, to give you enough spiritual energy to operate. That's why I do the 4th of July. And please forgive me for not doing the on the last full moon, I did not do the, what do you call it? I'm old man and the relaxing. Yeah, I'm forgetting. But I didn't do it. I usually do it on full moons. Meditation, please excuse me. I didn't do the meditations on the last full moon. I'm sorry. I've done them, I think, on the 2-3 previous ones. So I'm sorry. I'll try to get that in one night. If anybody else wants to see the Awaken one, I think that's her name that she goes by. So I'll play that meditation again. I'm so sorry I didn't. I'll be getting high and forgetting shit. So wanted to get that in there. But my point is you still have to operate and use this thing. And once you use it, and once you are about abundance, it comes to you. Like Eddie Murphy says when he turns white, silly Negro. It really is. It's like you just,
and I guess AM1 put it like this: is do you want to still be just, you know, a regular unconnected person? Because that's, you know, that's the cipher. You know, you have that choice. I guess of the trick of free will, you have the choice to be plugged in or not plugged in. And to me, free will is a joke. I'm not a joke, but a trick. It's a trick. Because again, you know, you can have free will not to plug in, and you just live your life, ignore everything, and you just follow what they say. That's the idea of free will, is to follow what they say. It's a trick. It's a trap. It's a trick. Because if you look at it as a controlled, that the whole thing is controlled, you see it's a trick and a trap. The illusion of it being your choice. Because that's what they like giving you. You know, English is such a spell where it's always the illusion of something. The illusion of freedom. And that's what we all have. We have the illusion of freedom. I guess if you look at, you know, and like harping on our country, it's like we've destabilized South America so much, where the fighting is down there. Like if you look for gold, there's still extortion and shit. You know, the government can't even protect you from people extorting you. They know you're out there getting that gold. You got to pay them. You know, it's like The Sopranos all over again over in South America, where they're looking for gold. You got to give them a little of your gold. We got the people in the Amazon so desperate for money that they cutting down, you know, the lungs of the world. The Amazon jungle is called the lungs of the world. Because if they look like getting rid of these trees and feeding their family, they like, fuck these trees. So it's another war on the trees. But they're taught that by the Europeans because of you know, especially the US government fucking with their affairs and making sure those countries stay destabilized. So they create the environment where they don't give a fuck about the trees. So what needs to live, that tree or you feeding your children? And we see in Africa where, you know, they got so desperate they just start killing the animals. You know, we have Oriental people that would kill the animals just for the horn. That's barbaric. That's barbaric. Now, if one naturally dies and you can take the horn off, oh, okay. But even in the zoos, and it's a shame that the zoos got to save the animals. They would kill them. Like, what did they want with panda bears that they had to take them all out the jungle and they couldn't leave them in the jungle because people was killing them? I've never seen a panda bear coat or anything like that. I've never seen that advertised. Panda bears are some weird motherfuckers. If you look at them, they like some weird people, motherfuckers. They like climbing up trees, you know, like the chick goes in the heat, she climbs up the tree. And because she's in the heat, the bears, you know, can smell it. And then she comes down and the two bears are there and they fight. And she ends up mating with the one that wins. And then after, you know, it's like hit it and quit it. It's like once he hits it, they go their separate ways. She raises the bear. But that's sad that the animals got to be in the and it's in the way they treat animals. Like I went to Chicago 88, 89, 90 one time. I went to the Lincoln Park Zoo. John Ball is in Grand Rapids. Yeah, Lincoln Park Zoo. And Lincoln Park, the group Lincoln Park. But Lincoln Park has a zoo. And one of the greatest exhibitions for the gorillas in the country. Their gorilla exhibition is great. The penguins was great. Polar bear had a big pool where that motherfucker can dive in and backstroke and shit. But they had a lion and they had a tiger. They were in 6 by 6 foot, maybe 8 foot long at the longest, by 4 feet maybe. Like these motherfuckers couldn't do shit but take naps, eat and take naps. I'm like, wow. And this is in the summertime. I'm like, wait a minute. So you doing this for the gorillas, but these cats got to be up here like this? There wasn't no better place you could put them. It was just kind of mind blowing. So some of the other animals had such a good, you know, where their cages was. And I'm looking at this shit, and this ain't shit. Like, somebody dropped the ball on this motherfucker there. Like, okay. But that just shows you the savagery, you know, the desperation that the U.S. and others cause. Where the people think they have to kill this stuff because that's what they've been taught. See, the U.S., you know, not to say other countries ain't kill, but the U.S. has taught other countries to kill to take over. You just kill it. That's capitalism. You just kill it if you can make a profit off it. That's capitalism. Doesn't matter. If you can make a profit off it, it doesn't matter that you use the resource. If you can make a profit off the resource, you use it. You don't care about the consequences. I can use it now. And you know, the tree, you know, the Doctor Who stories about, you know, killing all the trees is what they did. I mean, that story actually happened. They killed all the trees. I mean, the Dust Bowl proves that. The world that you live in right now proves that they killed all the trees. Look around you. There ain't no 100-year-old trees. Not everywhere, like there should be. This was tree world when they came here. And they cut it all down. And then the Dust Bowl happened. It's like, oh, we fucked up. Because the America fought back at them. A couple times America's got their ass back. The first time when they killed so many people, when Cortez and them killed so many people and people stopped farming, that's when it created a small ice age. And you can find, that's easy to find. They had killed so many people and stopped so many people from farming that the country, you know, felt them farming and wasn't happening. So already, you know, the world kind of fought back against them a couple times. Didn't do enough, but it fought back against them. And again, you know, if, the stories they tell, it's not believable. It's just not believable. Again, the victors write the stories, but the stories they tell. And that makes it seem like an unnatural reality too. Because that Cortez shit, it's no way they did it. It's no way Cortez did what they say he done. He did. It's no way. It makes, that story makes no sense. You know, if it was me in my country, these motherfuckers could have never slept. They had to sleep sometime, and I would have just people after people after people after people. I'd call motherfuckers from the other islands. Hey, we got some motherfuckers. We need to just keep going after them. People after people after people, and they would have never slept. So that's what doesn't make sense. The story they tell. And that's definitely a reality breakdown. To say basically 500 people that was murdered down to 35, who went back and brought 500 more people, conquered 100 million people. Just doesn't seem right. The story of America seems more real, where it took them more time. It didn't take them no time down there. Columbus, 20 years later, here comes Cortez, they got the whole thing. Just doesn't seem real. Now, the way the British, you know, again, and the British has always been the enemy. The British ain't never not been your enemy. They're still our enemy. Because that's where the most wicked comes from. You know, this English, all the spells and traps that comes with English, that comes from the British. British Germans, really Germans. You know, I'll say Brits, but they really Germans and had that German mentality. Because the power was, you know, the Germans took over Britain. You know, the Windsors and them, King George and all them was Germans. But that family took over. Well, yeah. And as I said before, what doesn't make sense is the parliament wins, but the parliament has lets them keep all their property and all their dough. Nobody does that. But even again, that goes to show you it was a shadow government. And maybe he had an army enough to say, leave us the fuck alone, I'm keeping my shit. Because they just lost the war, but maybe he was able to keep an army enough to say, okay, you can govern the country. You just, you know, my army is going to protect my bread, my land. I could see that. Maybe that's why, you know, the army had to, you know, certain loyalties to both. And the solution is just be the best you. The best version that you see that you can be in this whatever it is. Be the best at it that you can be. Keep yourself grounded. Be here now. Because it's funny, like when you get everything, what's funny is when you get everything at a certain point, comfort comes in. And so when you get all the shit you dream about and you start having it, comfort comes in. And it's almost like, well, I got to dream of this other shit so I can achieve this other shit. Because comfort is set in. Because all that you dreamed about, you sitting in it and you having it. Or can go get it. Then comfort hits in. So some of these other dreams start coming in instead of being here now. Still loving every moment of this. Because regardless what it is, at times it is just great. I know when I just sit and my kundalini goes off, it's a great feeling. Feeling of holding a baby, making a child smile, getting a hug. I mean, there's these moments are just can be so special and so great, regardless of what this is. Because that's what they don't want you to focus on. They don't want you to focus on the moment. And remember, the moment is all we really have. When you die in a moment. I mean, you look at all the quantum and whatever it is and whatever your particles are, but when you die, you just got them moments and all these other memories that go away unless you know how to take memory to death. And death is not the end of it. It's a whole new consciousness. This is the heaviness. This is this descent really in these bodies is the descent from your higher self. And if anybody listening to me, you have some kind of idea of your higher self. Something's there that you've tapped into. There's something about this that you're saying, hey, I can do this pretty good. And love. So many people and so many stories where ain't no love. Again, the witch is right. Love is above. Now, that don't mean start fucking with me. I ain't mentioning your name. I'm just telling you, I'm copying your work. That's it. So don't start fucking with me. I've seen your shit on Facebook again. You don't need to send that shit to me, okay? You quit putting that shit in my feed, all right? Quit putting that shit in my feed. But you haven't in about a month, so thank you. But I use your stuff, and you're right. Love is, you can hold love. You can just hold love and really love life and love the moment. I mean, what is stress? You thinking about something that's happened or something about to happen. Anxiety comes from all that. You thinking about something that's happened or something about to happen. Fear. I just laugh. Like I get all these fear programs while I'm driving. I just fucking laugh. I just laugh. I'm like, what? I'm like, and I was near the highway because I had turned off the highway, but wasn't far where I could still hear it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. And the fear programs start coming. I'm like, where are these programs coming in? I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm near the highway. Because you get bombarded with fear when you're on the highway. Even though it doesn't want you to crash, it will bombard you with fear programs, doubt. And that's where, get stopped and all that shit comes from. I probably need to stand up. I ain't stood up. Let's see if I can stand up. My back still hurts. I hope it doesn't still hurt. I didn't have any problem. When I got hurt last winter, I couldn't stand up. I think this is the opposite. I had trouble sitting down. Let's see, though. Do I feel any better? A little bit. Oh yeah, and I got the leopard pants on. It's cold, a little cold up here. Jody was here the other day. They paid me to. All I gotta do is show them. All I gotta do is show them. They paid me just to show them. I showed them. And that's all they get from me. My loungers, my leopard loungers. Well, y'all, I think I'm gonna go. 3 hours is more than enough. I appreciate all that came in, and thank you. And again, till we meet again. I thought, let's see though. I didn't capture it. No, I don't think I did. I like this.
Shotzi, Is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Very well said.
I guess you go to the...
Very well said, brother. Very well said. I don't think I put it on here. I thought I did, but I must not have. Wait, yes, maybe that was it. Was that it? No, that's not it. I don't think I put it on here. I'll fuck with it tomorrow. I know where it's at. Well, this has been the Chocolate Molten Show. I've been your host, Big Pine.